Hi there, everybody, and welcome back to the University Esports Overwatch 2 Winter 2023 Championship. We're here in the playoffs, and my name is Wiki. I'm joined here by Finn. And Finn, what do you have to say about the game we have coming up?
Well, it looks like it's going to be a very, very exciting game this week as we've got 10 that have come all the way from beating Warwick Angels, who are no small feat to beat, and taking out Hera, who actually were. No, not Hera, sorry. Aberdeen, who knocked out Hera last week in the games that we streamed. So, both two big games for them to win. Now, it's not going to be an easy battle as they are going against Houston.
I think Houston also team that beat Warwick and Aberdeen.
Oh yeah, the other way around.
Yeah.
Don't get it mixed. It's my problem there. So, it is going to be a very, very exciting game. Both potentially quite strong teams, and the winner of this could potentially be going against Unisco, who we saw fought very, very strongly last week. So hopefully it should be a very, very exciting game.
Yeah, we'll see the bracket here. Where we can see that Houston actually, before the Aberdeen game, ended up that's where they beat Warwick, which is an enormous feat to do off in this. Warwick have always been an incredible threat in all esports, but including Overwatch, of course. And we see that Ken also getting some pretty big wins, having a game 5 with Portsmouth. So hopefully we'll see a similar. Hopefully today we also get a game 5 against Houston, though. And then on the other side of the bracket, we can see the other games that's going to be happening in the quarterfinals. Oxford playing. I can't quite read that, sadly, but the winner of that will go into the semis. And then the winner of that goes to the in-person finals next week.
Yeah, I've got to say I'm very, very excited for the live finals next week. Should be a lot of fun, hopefully, and it'll be great to see some of the teams that have done so well in person and be able to see the performances they do live and really experience the atmosphere, because these are uni students. This could be one of their only shots to ever get this performance on this type of stage ever, so it's quite a big deal for them. It's not some small uni competition. This is like, for a lot of people's chance, effectively this is their big moment, which makes it just that bit more exciting, as they're not pros, but this is the highest you get this level, and that's what makes it so entertaining, because they are just normal people going through uni like the rest of us.
Yeah, it's a big bracket. It's a very big opportunity, especially any sort of LAN event, any sort of in-person event. It's always just so much more fun. You go through the playoffs, you play everything online, you get to know your team, and then you get to go in person. There's just the production, the cameras. It's always just such a good feeling to do an in-person LAN event. But today we'll be watching, I think, 2 winner-side games. So game 1 will obviously be Kent versus Houston Outlaws. So anybody you see lose today should still have a second life in losers. That's how a double elimination bracket works. We're in top 8 here. Warwick losing their first game in playoffs, climbing into losers round 3. So they've been winning everything so far. Playing against Donuts, who I think we saw play last week as well. So they're playing Warwick this week. And Portsmouth playing Southampton, losers as well. So today, whoever we see win on stream and win through the semis will make it to the grands. And then whoever loses has to go through the losers bracket. The long journey that losers is, and then they climb through losers bracket. It's such a advantage to stay in winners. On one hand, it kind of feels bad sometimes when you drop down to that you beat somebody and that they can come back because losers bracket and whatnot. But losers bracket is such a difficult path to break through. You have to play more games when you're in losers. You're on the tournament life. The stress is high, and especially in this format where you have to play your games during the week, you just have to commit a lot of time once you drop down to losers. So if you want to be winning grands, you want to be making it via winners today.
Yeah, so we're speaking about these players. They're doing their best to get in these final situations, but at the core, let's break it down to what they actually are. They are uni students at the end of the day, and uni students, especially those who take part in esports, regularly and usually not the best, in terms of getting these assignments done early. So I'd like to make a guess and see some of these players who and teams who are getting knocked out early might just be saved in terms that they might actually find a little bit of time to get these assignments done now. So it's not the be all and end all. You might be getting saved some greater.
If you lose actually today, you should consider it a good thing. You get to finish that essay you've been procrastinating. You get to finally lock everything in. Yeah. Whereas the poor winners are forced to continue playing Overwatch. Now that's a fate. That's a fate no uni student should be submitted to.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, it should be a really good time in finals. It's such a feeling to get that victory, especially if you're logging off after 2 wins in the Newell with your team. You're all celebrating, and then you go downstairs to have a bowl of beans. It's such a great feeling to be in university, and these wins just make it just a tad bit better.
Yeah, university esports really does provide an excellent opportunity to just get engaged into a competitive environment. I know myself, I'm playing in a lot of different games, playing them all mediocrely, but I'm still playing them. I just like the competitive spirit, the opportunity to feel like I'm on the big stage and just part of something bigger than myself. And hopefully Kent and Houston will also feel that way and put on a show for us on the big stage today. Houston Outlaws, incredible name, by the way. They're called from UCL, but because I think the closest tube station to the thing is called Houston. Incredible naming. And Kent, hopefully we see a banger name, and hopefully we'll see a competitive match between the two today. Houston, however, I feel going to have at least for me, I'm going to have the spotlight on him today, and that's my prediction to win. Last week we did some preds. This week my pred is Houston. Beating Warwick is, again, I kind of overestimate how big of a feat and accomplishment that is. And from what I see, they also had, I think, a 3-1 or a 3-0. They swept their way into the bracket right here. Whereas I saw Kent had a game 5 and some a bit closer games. So my favorite for today is Houston Outlaws.
Yeah, I would love to be the devil's advocate, but I'm going to create an underdog story for Kent here, and I'm going to have to back Houston as well.
Okay. Both commentators against Ken. It's them against the world.
I've been checking Twitter over the years. It's Warwick Angels again. Okay. They just seem practically unstoppable. So
you log on, you see a Warwick W, you log off. You're like, all right, cool. The Earth still spins. The sun still comes up in the morning, but in this world we're living in here, in this bracket, that's not quite the case.
Yeah, it seems like it could be an unstoppable force plus a unmovable object here. So seeing Houston take that win, I've got to put my numbers on them.
All right, what maps do you want to see this week? I think this week we have. Did we have hybrid as map 2 last week? We did, right?
I believe.
I think the rule set is the same as for the entirety of playoffs, so it's the same as last week. Control hybrid flashpoint. Last week we saw Ilios into Blizzard World, into New Junk City, both games. So what are you hoping to see this week?
Please, someone pick Kings Row.
It's an option. I don't know why they're not picking it. I checked after the games. I was like, damn, maybe it's just not an option, and I missed it, and it's not in the rule set. No, it's in the rule set. They just last week both games just went to Blizzard World instead.
Please, guys, for me, do it for me. Come on.
Ilios, I'm an advocate. I'm a fan. Li Shang's pretty good as well. I see it's in the rotation, and I know it's a lot of teams' favorite. It's my team's favorite to go to. But you know what? I'm not going to complain about Ilios. And New Junk City, I guess it's just less flashpoint options. New Junk City was one of the first ones, so I guess it's the last week we saw some teams had specific prep and strategies for that map, so maybe that's more excusable. But I'd like to hop off of Blizzard World. It's a fun map. Kings Row is just also an option.
Kings Row, insta-lock with Orion, go deafen, ignore your team. That's how Overwatch should be played. Now, You can say I'm not a professional coach if you want to be wrong, but just log Ryan, go def and rank up. Believe me, it works. Please.
Yeah, the teams who are playing today in this bracket who actually do have coaches, ignore. This is the advice you're needing.
Yeah,
this is what you should be listening to.
Listen to my advice, not because I want to go against Reinhardt. No.
But what are we expecting to see then? We saw a lot of Sigma last week. We saw some dabbles in dive, some Winston. I think we saw one of the teams pull out a dive with a Reaper, which was pretty impressive to see. So I think the meta right now allows for a decent amount of variety. There's no strict, this is the best comp. However, there are obviously always stronger and weaker heroes.
I'd be very, very intrigued and slightly hopeful to say we'll be seeing Orion. I think one of the only things that's going to be taking down Unisco is a Chad Ryan.
True. I mean, hey, who are they playing this week? Unisco are playing Oxford. Not a shabby team, not a weak team. Sadly, I don't think we'll be seeing that game. But they beat Durham, and as a esports guy in Durham, I'm kind of having to say that they're good because they were hacking, they were cheating, otherwise we couldn't beat Durham. But so I guess Oxford are not going to be a small opponent for them. They're going to be a decent match, I hope, and we'll see the winner of that after this game probably.
Just from me having a quick look at some of the teams, I think I already have my favorite player based on their logo. So let's go. Is it T-Wo?
The Dallas Fuel profile pick.
Yes, yeah. Listen, Overwatch League might be dead, but Overwatch Esports is not dead, and Burn Blue or something.
University Esports is Overwatch Esports. We have taken it, put it on our backs, and currently, as the league falls, we are the ones carrying the torch forwards.
But that is it. That is what makes being a part of this so fun and so impactful, because we are truly part of something bigger. Like, nobody knows what's going to claw through the depths of Overwatch Esports at the minute. Everyone knows something will come back, but these events and these leagues that are going on while there is no Overwatch League is really what is keeping the game and the community alive. Without things like the University Esports League, we wouldn't really have this feel and drive for Overwatch Esports much.
I mean, yeah, it's one of the reasons I love University Esports so much. On top of that, just the opportunity to not only if you are good to present your skills and play the game and be on the big screen, be on the stage, but also from a production and just like skills point of view. We're all in esports in some way or another. Some people are just here to find a competitive outlet and just to play. Others are here just because they love the industry and want to be involved, and giving students like us and everybody behind the cameras and behind the scenes today, just giving them an opportunity to display and develop their skills. It's just always, and we're just students after all. Yeah, so this is just an incredibly fun and cool way of giving people experience and skills.
Yeah. Speaking of being grateful, looks like we might be seeing a Lijiang Tower here. So
whoever picked this map, we're grateful.
Let's all give the team a clap for that one. So excited. A different map. It's truly a spectacle to be happy about.
Game winner. We've already broken last week's curse. Lijiang Tower. What do you expect to see here comp wise? Obviously, 3 very different points. However, there should be some expected picks. I expect.
Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my prediction's right. I really, really want to see Brawl on control point. But is it control center? Sorry.
I think so.
But other than that, Lucio rollout, standard staple on Gardens.
Just hit it on the stream. Just get 5 people straight off the bat.
Casual.
Submit the clip, become famous, go to whatever the replacement for the Overwatch League is, and it's easy. It's as easy as that.
Exactly, like 5k boop. We end the stream right then. Not official.
We give you the map, we give you the win, we give you the prize money, the crown, the trophy.
Exactly.
We just cancel next week's event.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested to see how both teams play this. Definitely, since maybe those team comps we saw a lot of last week, why they didn't change much, it's because the maps didn't change much, which could explain some things.
True.
But then again, you know, it. Some team comps are just good for teams, and some aren't. So we could be seeing a similar team comp the entire way through, or something completely different. I want to see something creative and crazy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially at the uni level here, we see just usually comfort picks more than anything. The meta, especially right now, isn't particularly favoring or going too far in one place, so we'll probably see whatever they're comfortable with. But I think we should be hopping into the map here and seeing something other than Ilios. Finally, we're here to Lijiang. And if there's a point to pull off a 5k boop, it's this one.
Yep. I mean, this is the most exciting map. We all know it right here. If we see a far out, I will be upset. Ooh, okay.
I hope some of these heroes stay. Actually, we still have 20 seconds to swap off of these, but there are some very fun picks on the screen right now.
Yeah. This image brings me joy. I see
happiness.
I see 2 Lucios, a Ball, a Junker Queen. This seems like a clash that you will enjoy watching, especially with the Symmetra TP out spawn. I'm glad players are utilizing Sim.
Yeah, gonna swap off immediately afterwards, just getting the extra little speed boost on top of the Lucio speed, so should be getting to point pretty quick. However, the other side did stick with Lifeweaver and Ball. 2 heroes we did not see much last week, but are both pretty decent right now, and hopefully we can see what they can pull off together here.
I mean, the Ball here is going to be able to take a lot of space and deny a lot of the poke.
And not only space, but also get a kill by getting the swing there onto the elimination.
Yeah, there's a lot of space suppression here from the side of
getting gripped out.
One of the sides. I'll get back to you on that.
Lifeweaver here being a pretty strong pick, because if you're in the point is so open apart. Well, this little center part is so open. Lifeweaver can just pull you back into some sort of cover or out of trouble if you end up being in any. And we saw that during that fight.
Yeah, I mean, Ken just got outspaced really. The ball had so much.
I think it was Houston's blue here.
Oh right, okay.
But we see the swap to the break. We'll see what can happen here. The Sojourn enjoying this long sight line, just being able to spray down, tip everybody whilst the Ball as well flies in. Ball just taking so much space here and so much attention, but not enough apparently, as 2-0 just runs in and gets 2.
Ball coming out already, but it's not enough to stop Houston. I mean,
yeah, just a very clean teamfight win there. It looked scary for him at moments, as Cool Beans was just shooting down the choke and Lid's just taking people's attention, but 2-0, focusing the correct targets there and just getting 2.
It's a superb usage of the Brig and the Junker Queen to shut down the Ball as he's trying to take a lot of space and disrupt the plays of Houston, but and just aren't able to find usage with the Ball's space. And Houston do a really good job at out-poking and really getting their abilities in and quick and doing the damage they need before the Ball is able to
Ball goes in and the rest of the team follows, but they take too much damage straight off the bat. The Lifeweaver ult is not enough. The Tree of Life not quite giving any. And I think this is just going to be a little bit of a cleanup. A bit messy there, Saki drops. And actually, the Ball is still alive as well with Lucio. Gets slept. Nano is committed, which I think Ken have to be really happy about that one. They were not committed. They had already lost the fight, so getting Nano out there is perfect for them.
It was definitely a scaredy cat face Nano, which you can't complain about if you're scaring them into using ults. Then you know you've done at least a bit of a good job there.
Yeah.
But the Junker Queen shout is doing so much, getting so much value in stopping this Ball from being too strong.
Get one. Follows up Lifeweaver up on the platform, securing the kill there. Lucio is committed, saving the Astra, but not for long as Made of Stone follows it up. Lucio half. Not quite getting hit connected by the knife, but the Ball, the shout bails a Junker Queen out there, but there's still 3 people on point on the side of Ken. Wriggle is committed. Gets the stun, but doesn't get a kill to follow up. Just keeping everyone alive. There it is, getting the boop off the stage. Nice.
Oh, and
Right
that's
off the map. Moira there to contest, but not contesting well enough. And Break is just such a good pick into this team. Just being able to be so self-sufficient and reliant on their own healing output.
that is beautiful. The way Houston's team works so well together here and all synchronizes beautifully is so good. The Break getting so much AoE healing, especially with that rally, that Anna being able to hit the heal amplifications, the Jungle Queen shout and getting the passive heal over time, the Genji getting back quickly, it just all works together so beautifully. And as much as Born is good for taking space, Lucio's good for being disruptive, they just aren't oppressive enough and do enough damage to shut down that Queen quick enough to really close out that fight.
Yeah, Houston swapping over to the Break after the first fight loss was an enormous shift in momentum for them. And again, TPing out of spawn here just to get back quickly, but the ball on the side of Kent, they're always going to reach the point before you do. It's just trying to get some heals, just loitering around, looking for an opening, and potentially finding one here. No, it's not enough. 2-0 just ignoring the ball, prioritizing the correct targets, and just going for the squishies on the side of Ken.
Houston have been really, really clean and concise with what they're doing here, because if Ken played that a little bit safer, there's a lot of chances for them to keep moving around, keeping space away from Houston, and be able to do so much damage before Houston can even get near them. But they did so well at shutting that down, getting close as quick as possible, and eliminating the targets they needed to. And
Ken actually swapping over to the Bastion for that fight is feeling they didn't have enough damage output, I imagine, but it didn't quite work. And again, just the target prioritization on the side of Houston is incredible. If a lot of people will be just shoot the ball because it's the big target that's rolling towards them, but if the ball isn't actually applying a lot of pressure and isn't doing a huge amount, ignoring it is just the perfect play and just going for the vulnerable backline.
yeah, it's I've got to give it to T1 here.
Kill though. The combination of just the pressure and the ball getting the kill on the Lucio very early, and the Jump Queen then follows. However, Blade committed, gets one, doesn't quite get two. Moira ult's committed though, which is perfect for the side of Houston. They get out alive, they get out safe, and the point is still in Houston's control. Ken have not capped it yet.
Lid.
There we go, 70%. But squeezing out every bit of that point that they could.
Yeah, that 10% could come back to bite them.
Ball making out barely alive, and Houston gonna have to regroup here. Genji falling early.
I mean, that team fight, it all really came down to Cool Beans, like, absolutely living up to their name. Staying cool, calm under pressure with so much space being taken, and managing to fight too early. Really, really changed the tides of that fight.
Right, Junker Queen's on the Junker Queen ult on the side of Houston. Ball's committed to the side of Ken. Into the backline, and surely not an Ajax. Surely not in our university esports. We see an Ajax coming from the side of Houston.
Yeah, it seems Kent are starting to flip this and get their momentum.
Yeah, warming up a little bit, maybe getting comfortable to the pace of the game, realizing and acknowledging that Houston are just going to try ignore the ball and just working around that.
Houston are going to come back quickly. They do have the social ult. They do have the Junker Queen ult, which could pry them open and do a lot. But the beat is ready.
Gets Lucio, doesn't kill him, so he gets the beat out, and 2-0 just alone in the backline dies. However, Moira also fell. Both Surgeons popping their ult here.
Okay. Fairly even team fight here. The tank is down for Houston. On their way back.
I think the Bob scared him off. Scaring Houston back. But that's scary for the side of Ken.
No.
The Ash falling earlier to the Sojourn.
Doing so much there.
Lucio alone on point, trying to contest against the Junker Queen, but not going to do a huge amount. Junker Queen now just free reign to hold forwards. Ball going to be.
He won't stop it.
Gonna try his best to get it to 99. but Lid makes it out. Oh, wait, they're hanging down there. Nah, they make it out.
Just
All right, but they do get it to 99. So this is a very important fight for Houston to win. They have Blade, they have Rush. Yeah, they're approaching. They have two, and they're approaching a third.
And you have to be careful going in early here. Oh, the mind's missed. The T-Row is trapped. The Blade is ready for an attempt to shout back and say, no, the point isn't yours.
Genji trying to find an opportunity to Blade, but the mines are just such a big deterrent. Gets the health back.
Ready with the Blade.
Pops it.
Could get the Lucio.
No! Gets the Lucio, but is there anyone else? Not quite. And it's just a rush to the point. It's just a scramble for Houston here. Beat comes out, managed to contest. Ball is low, so if he concentrate on them, can get the kill. Is the point gonna flip?
Oh.
Point so close to flipping for Houston. Ball coming back to contest it. Kills on both sides. Lucio falls, but so does the Junker Queen. And can end up winning the fight. That was such a scramble at the end there. So close.
So close, that fight. We saw Queen doing so much damage, but got singled out very, very early on and getting trapped by the mines, leaving her in a lot of danger, whereas Lid was free to keep spinning and bouncing and jumping and slamming. But what it really, really came down to is those last 30 seconds where Houston lost the second support early, and Ken had the Moira lasting for around maybe 10-15 seconds longer, which just supplied Ken with just a bit more heals. So when T-Wo came back, there just wasn't enough to sustain, and it left the Junker Queen quite alone and scared, which it just left the Junker Queen.
Alright, over here, Sturgeon identifying the Moira's alone, but you're gonna have to get the kill here. Moira very self-sufficient, and actually a trade ends up coming through. Without the Moira, we'll see the survivability of that Kent has. Not enough apparently, however, more picks do keep coming out. Houston gonna retreat back to point, get the cap early.
Still staying very, very even.
They are just dancing around at the back of the point, but makes out alive.
Gotta be careful here. Trying to face the Genji alone.
Ken. Sojourn here at the firing range, gets one. Slowly traded out. 2-0 is just on a tear. Holding forwards, just getting every kill that they can. Moira half, no cooldowns. There, they fall. Fall alone is not going to be enough to flip the point there. And yet Ken seems so comfortable with this Junker Queen comp. They just trust 2-0 so much that with the shout, Van can just hold forwards and just get the kills that they need.
Yeah, you know, T-Wo for Houston doing so much. It's hard to stop the Queen, especially when they have such an aggressive force. And I get slammed and taken down by Cool Beans.
Cool Beans getting free on the side of Ken here. This is a lost fight for Houston. Both supports alive, but unless we pull out a miracle here. Kiriko 1v5 incoming? Not quite.
Yeah, T-Wo is definitely being noticed.
Getting acknowledged.
T-Wo is definitely being noticed, being pushed down a lot more, which is creating a lot more danger because if you know someone is doing so much, you force them out, you do a lot of damage, and it creates chaos, just like what's happening right now.
Whatever. Yeah, the chaos is perfect for Houston. These Junker Queen v Brawl comps thrive in this sort of environment. However, maybe not too much chaos. Maybe the mines are a bit too much for him. Ball falls. Using the lamp there just to stay alive. Moira barely makes it out alive. Lucio dancing around, taking the attention away from the Sojourn, but they noticed. Lucio, again, this Lucio's coming in.
Broken record, but T-Wo is just needs to be stopped. They need to find a medicine to take down the Junker Queen. It just doesn't seem like the ball's enough.
Oh, acknowledging that not that many people are here actually, trying to push forwards a bit. Ball pushes them back, but 2-0 built so much ult during that just little engagement.
Oh, and
Saki
Saki.
getting one. Big pick onto Lucio early, drastically reducing survivability. Lid falls. Lid gets Saki, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. And we're approaching last fight territory for Ken.
Yeah,
And they're approaching mines, they're approaching coalescence, but apart from that, Houston's looking in a very comfortable position to take this game.
all ults available for Houston here. They could just zone out the rest of the team and then go for the Lucio later. They look hungry for the ult.
Blade being committed just to secure the kill on Ash there. Point gets flipped, and actually, Kent getting some kills on their own as well. No, my ult wasn't nerfed there. Blue Beans.
He gets taken down.
Ooh, getting messy.
It does
But I
almost
think-
put the mines here on board. Just need one more swing. The mines
Yeah,
come
and
out.
the point
And
is
the
still
hack
in
coming
Kent's
in.
favor.
Oh, and the Sombra coming in doing so much.
Rush is committed, getting messy. Oh, all on half HP. Not going to fall. Sombra also in half, but also doesn't fall. And Kent actually flipped the fight here and keep the point. And now it's the reverse. Kent are the ones in the advantage here, and Houston have to take the point.
Yeah, Houston used all ults in that fight. They're severely lacking here, and the Sojourn ult is going to be ready soon. The beat is going to be ready soon for Ken. This is looking very, very flipped and deadly.
Cool Beans.
Oh,
Popping Sojourn ult. Gets two. Made a stun. Reflecting, but no rails being shot. And yeah, that was incredibly well played by Kent there. And they take game one against the Houston Outlaws.
absolutely absurd win. Just showing how fragile the winning lead can be. If you flip that, take your advantage and work with what you've got. You can flip that. If you're desperate, you can win any game in this. It really is never won.
Yeah, especially with how dominant the first point there, and for the majority of the second point, Houston were looking incredibly well done by Kent to identify that despite being just beaten and losing, identifying their win condition, acknowledging where potentially they should be, who they should be targeting, what they should be working on, and managing to also an incredibly messy last fight, see the vision, see the win con, and manage to clean up the entire map. That puts the score 1-0 to Kent against the Houston Outlaws.
Yeah, it was really well played. Some highlights that you got to point out is Cool Beans absolutely mowing through the team.
Every Sojourn
Quite a few times there. Tiwo, such an oppressive force. Junker Queen really, really needed to be shut down. If Tiwo could be focused more in that game, it would have gone a lot smoother again.
Yeah, absolutely. Houston did an incredible job there, but just was not enough. Hopefully this gives us signs that it won't be quite like last week's record, where every map was a 3-0. Hopefully Houston's dominance and signs of life that they were showing in the last game can reflect into the next few games, and they managed to get maybe a game 4. If I'm asking nicely, maybe a game 5. But right now, Kent, that ball comp looking good, looking strong.
Definitely a strong team. Can't be knocked at all. I think maybe with a different team comp, it could have been stronger. It looked very, very risky on the ball comp. They, as much as they were great individual players, it didn't seem like they were very tuned in with how they should be distancing themselves from that Junker Queen, because the Junker Queen was able to find a lot of value that they shouldn't have been able to, which is always scary.
They found something out of it. They ended up finding something, because Kent were the ones to win that map in the end.
Yeah.
Which, props to them.
Yeah.
Personally, I see Ball on my team. I'm lost. I don't know what to do, but it seems they've practiced it enough. Alice, the Lucio player on Kent, was often just exactly where they needed to be, contesting the point with the team. I saw a lot of the Lucio on the side of Kent, just appearing in every fight. TC as well, I think Ash for most of the game, exerting a lot of pressure on 2-0. Whenever the Junker Queen would push a bit too far, the Ash was there to just headshot him and shut him down.
Yeah, I mean, with all respect, both these teams performed incredibly in that first map, and you really gotta acknowledge that they have been putting in that practice and they have been getting that experience as a team. Maybe if they're to win the grand finale, they have to diversify their team a little bit more, just so they can. If a team is perfect on these team comps, they do have a way to counter them and force them into uncomfortable positions. But as I've said, both teams performed incredibly, and I'm so excited to see what they come out with in the next map.
All right, you are the Houston Outlaws. You are UCL here, and you just lost a close game, but to a game to a ball. Where do you take them? Oh, I saw your smile. You just saw the map that they chose.
Kings Row. You take them straight to Kings Row. That's where you take them.
That seems to be the map choice here for the Houston Outlaws. So, dare I ask you, what comp and what tank are you hoping to see here?
Oh, absolutely. They need to be playing Reinhardt. That seems like the perfect meta strategy right here.
Absolutely. It's just what you want to see. Especially, how well do you think Ball does on Kings Row? Are you still expecting to see the Ball?
Eerily, Ball does fairly dominate the Ryan team comp here if played right, which I'm getting flashbacks of Ball and Sigma and Chaos, but let me just play Reinhardt. But I think they could pull off the Reinhardt, but Junker Queen is more of a preferred Brawl team comp against the Reinhardt, but boo, I get it. But the Junker Queen, T-Wo did play Junker Queen immensely, so
I mean,
I wouldn't see why they wouldn't pick it again in this next map.
I'm not complaining. That was when the Junker Queen was working, it was a delight to watch. But I also just realized that this going to at least a map 4 means that we do see push as well being played. So we'll see how that goes down later in the series. But last week we just didn't see any. Here we are, the old stomping grounds, back to Great Britain's finest. Maybe London. Who knows where this actually is? But we're here on Kings Row.
Where all the great battles went down, the new finals.
University Esports has been here many a time, but all right, yeah, we see Houston rolling out with Junker Queen comp again. Tequila opening up with Break this time, not messing around with the Ana that we were messing around with last wave, but Lucio Brig, yeah, they are committing to the brawl here. They are wanting to get into Kent's backline as fast as possible and just end the fight there.
Okay, very interesting team comps to say the least. There we go. I thought we'd be seeing a Widow as an early pick here, and I forces the brawl away and makes them have to hide. Dreadful. I'm not sure how the ball is going to be able to break through this front point without taking a ton of damage. As I say that, getting through fairly calmly.
The win condition here for Ken is that the ball manages to just distract and dislodge enough of the team to pick off some of the squishier individuals on Houston. However, Houston expertly showing us what their win condition is. Ignore the ball and just get the backline. If the ball is somewhere behind you, who cares? Just go for the supports, go for the DPS. If you correctly just push into them with your Brig, with your Lucio, with 2-0 leading the charge, there's not a lot they can do in response.
I mean, showing them that they are a truly alpha team, you know, what's the best defense, offense, that's crazy.
Alright, but Alice here on the Ana gonna try slow him down a bit. Sleep darts, antis, they're gonna try prevent the brawl. Anti gets 2, and it actually does able to get 2-0. No. Not before Alice falls though. Oh, Sojourn squeaking out a bit more damage before falling. But this is a messy fight, which will probably end up favoring Ken. Respawns are so close that if you don't win cleanly, you just have to... Yeah, look, you see him backing off here, regrouping. But I think, yeah, they'll get a comfortable team fight in here.
Yeah.
Liz showing off a bit of ball tech, going up high, but not...
They got through the gates, but is that a horrific thing to happen when you're on the team of Houston? You want them in. You want to be able to do that brawl close damage. Saki taking a risky 1v1 here and getting taken out.
Yeah, it doesn't pay off, but during that team fight, Tequila popping the Briggle and just, again, targeting the rest of the team that wasn't on the high ground, which is why you see Kent, despite winning the Soldier in 1v1, backing off here. Alright, and here we see full charge rail, but slowly dropping down. Cool Beans gonna wanna find somebody's head here to open up the fight. What a jump scare! Made of Stone appearing behind him. Not quite getting killed, but it does get the rail shot out of the Sojourn. 2-0 slept. And there we go. That's the opening that Ken was looking for. Tank is down.
Oh no. They've let Cool Bean fly, and he gets taken down by Lucio.
Yeah, wait.
Back up.
Yeah, that fight didn't go at all. They found the win con they wanted. Ken got the first pick. They got rid of the Jungle Queen. That's, in theory, the main bulk and sustain of the Houston's down, but the individual players on the side of Houston managing to just find some kills and force Kent to back off.
I mean, theory doesn't matter when you're Saki on the Sojourn, I guess. Managing to do so much damage there, getting so many kills, going in the ties of the fight. You gotta give it to Hovey on the Lucio, managing to take out the Sojourn with the ult.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, I think getting knocked a bit, booped back to force going to the pillar, but it doesn't end up mattering.
I mean,
As mid done, pops the Genji ult as well and cleans up the rest.
spray that spray T1. You know how it's done. You've gotta say it. The brawl map is definitely brawling.
I see why they chose this. I see why they choose to come to King's Row rather than Blizzard World.
Yeah, it just looks like they're absolutely in the element here. They're
Well,
able
here we
to
go.
the space they want.
Kent going to high ground, acknowledging that. Oh,
Man,
never mind. I was going to say who's going to threaten him up there, but Made of Stone is getting one to open up with. Forcing a few ults out on the side of Kent, but coming here on the point, but Houston just pushing these little corridors and getting the Anna down early. And who's going to be touching? Oh, is that going to be Kent winning in overtime?
No. Surely not.
Regrouping, looking like we're going to be coming back. Sojourn and Genji both touch the point. Yeah, we take the point here. Briggle as well.
Can they get to the point?
They may just have the sustain they need to win this fight. Oh, wait. No, they still have it. But no, it's not enough. Very nice attempt to see. The Briggle just allows your team to be so much tankier. So there was a real shot of winning that fight. But Kent playing around it nicely, just backing off. Acknowledging that Houston had to contest. Acknowledging that Houston had to contest to not lose that point. In fact, Kent just needed one person on point, so the rest of them sat back and just shot away.
I mean, Tiwa's done a perfect job at slowing down the momentum there and not turn the second point into an absolute snowball with that pick. So you've got to represent there, but the ball mines on the objectives just absolutely zoned them out. The Briggle was fairly useless because of it.
Alright, Made of Stone getting the Cool Beans there, which is big pick. Sojourn popping the ult during that fight, so not going to get a value they wanted, and Lid swiftly falls afterwards. A group effort for that elimination, all 5 in the scoreboard for that one.
Yeah, Made of Stone just so clean with the way they play. Houston hit. They are very strong and clean in these team fights, but it's the second a team fight isn't clean and they make one mistake, it all comes crumbling down. It seems as if T-Woke goes, the team loses a lot of stability and it gets very dangerous.
Genji ult's committed, but so is Bob. Reflecting the Bob's bullets back into Kent's own team, but the eliminations are very messy here. Both ults, both sides using ults, both sides losing players, but I think Lifeweaver overextending here a bit. Doesn't make it out. Does make it out. Who knows where to? Slippery little Lifeweaver. But Saki here with a... I was going to say a zoning ult, but never mind. Proving me wrong and managing to get a kill at the end there.
Just such a good player, doing good player things. That's the masters of esports stuff and things.
I think they know the ball is yeah, you ain't tricking anyone.
Slightly. mean, you've got the Junker Queen. The rally is ready. That is a lot of damage, but the mines are there to zone them out. But since it's a payload, they can just back off a little bit if they're careful.
So many ults being committed, but we see Made of Stone here contesting the high ground, making sure Sojourn doesn't quite have free reign on everyone. Gonna try target the Kiriko here, but I think that axe swing hitting so many people that it's already a cooldown, so gonna be able to get another.
Yeah, I mean the shout always being ready as well.
Yeah, Saki, you see, they end up getting the Kiriko down there. Lifeweaver jumping from high ground to high ground, but I don't think it's gonna be enough healing to break through the entirety of Houston. Sojourn getting pulled a bit closer, not gonna be able to just shoot from far away, and unless the Lucio, nah, that's an incredibly well played by Houston. This is, with the exception of a full hold, this is exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, they played the defense with the brawl against that team comp so well. Of course, a lot of votes come out against you. You lose one to something unfortunate. It is going to get a bit rough, but they've done such a good job to hold it so well and be able to shut down that momentum and hold it at the corner that they want to, and use the rotation of the Junker Queen ult with the big rally to be able to give them so much sustain and zoning and oppress the other team that it's going to be hard to beat in a defensive stance.
All right, we've got the defenders comp locked in here. We know what they're going to be pulling, and it is Lucio Lifeweaver with the backline and the ball taking the tank role again. So how do you want them to win this? They have to hold this point basically for 4 minutes. How are they going to do it?
See, it's scary. It's very, very hard to full hold this point with the ball. It's not a lot of stability. It's a bit risky, but it can be done. It 100% can be done. But you have to be very, very careful for overextending and getting stopped in your tracks. But on the second point, it is a lot better, and you can get back to the payload a lot quicker. So
yeah, this is Houston's map pick for a reason. They've chosen a map where their comp is strong, but not strong enough to prevent a Lucio from dying to cool beans right in the line of fire for the Sojourn there. And Houston just gonna wait for the Lucio to come back. However, Ken are playing this exactly how they should be, all just split across different high grounds. Their team is just so mobile, and their win con is to not get steamrolled. And there it is again. They're just on the high ground, and if the ball is disrupting, Cool Beans just kind of pick a target that they want to get rid of and just shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
Oh, what a pull! We're getting life gripped back.
Oh, you'd love to see a good life grip. I mean, but
keep falling as well. Yeah, these have just been very, very messy team fights. Contesting Cool Beans in the high ground here, Made of Stone, but not being able to climb the fight back up. He's gonna fall here, a bit low on HP. Does it? Yeah, the health point pack was taken away, and I think Houston here going to be forced to back off and take another fight.
I mean, a very, very strong start from Ken. They are using the split and the high ground and the slamming from the ball and the speed they have to their advantage very well. They do have to be careful here because Houston are starting to edge more towards the point, and that does give them a lot higher chances to be able to find a pick they need and then clean it up.
But again, another pick. I expected Saki to fall there, but no, Tequila getting picked off by the Lucio of all people, and here it is. You're stuck in a small little corridor, but mines are gonna do business on you. And
yeah,
no health pack there actually. Kind of unfortunate for him, and gonna fall. That's perfect for Houston. That's exactly what they wanted.
Yeah,
they were about to come back.
They do have to be quick because the ball can get back insanely quickly. And Kent do have a lot of ults here. They just might be able to get some percentage.
Yeah, a Bob committed, so is Lucio ult, but perfectly rotating away from all the aggression, all the line of stuff. Oh, Made of Stone getting picked off by the Sojourn Eva.
Really not made of metal.
Houston they're all playing together. They've finally gotten onto the point as a group, but with Mid and Stone dropping early there, we'll see if he has enough damage to break through.
Messy.
Genji's back. Blade is being popped. Cool Beans, however, sadly going to be using this Sojournal indoors. They're not going to get huge value off of it. Perfect identification of just a solo target by Made of Stone and Tequila there. Ball, yeah, gonna fall. And
It is.
despite this being what we'd like to consider a brawl map, Ken put up a very long fight to contest that point there.
Yeah, it was a very good job. Houston do have to be careful here, just because they are going to get back to the position they held to very, very quickly. This is not a free win here. The ball is coming close to mines, and they do not have that much time to take this corner. It's a considerable amount of time, but when you're going against these team comps, you do have to be careful because that time runs out insanely quickly.
Yeah, thankfully for Kent, despite it being King's Row, so a lot of streets, a lot of narrow corners and corridors, there's a decent amount of high ground on this point for them to locate themselves, but the Sojournal and the Junker Queen are forcing them to back off here, and the payload's just being pushed forwards.
It's a lot of ults committed.
Ballman just contest. Lifeweaver also committed.
The ball does have mines.
Yeah, everything's being thrown onto this point, and we'll see if Houston are able to navigate around it, but it seems they're just ignoring the ults. They're just, again, ignoring the ball, ignoring everything going on the point, just going after the backline. You can't ignore the ball forever. Getting a bit of momentum there, but Lucio going to keep a fight on point going a bit longer. The Wrecking Ball is saved, but Alice going to fall there, and Lid going to soon fall after. And there it is.
Yeah.
A lot closer than we might have initially expected, but Houston Outlaws with their Junker Queen comp do manage to take King's Row.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of plain to see that it was going to happen. It just wasn't Kent's map to take at the end of the day. It was a perfect pick. That's what it comes down to. Both teams played really well, but the map just suited Houston's play style more, and they were able to take the points when they needed. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, especially Houston won the very well on the defense side of things. They lost first point, but managing to hold them immediately in the first choke point immediately after point, just at that corner, is incredible for them. You see so many teams give up that space very quickly, and they just end up letting the payload go too far. But Houston, knowing that their brawl comp likes playing that corner right there after the point, and they managed to hold it there, evening up the score to 1-1 in this series.
Yeah, I think you do have to take it as a learning lesson to not get over inspired, let's say, in those games. You're doing so well, you're creating so much pressure, you're shutting down those checkpoints, you're holding your high ground superbly. You just need to have a little bit of care, and remember they are good players, as the ball does go in too heavily with the sole plan of, oh, there's a health pack there, I can go into their whole team, and then getting caught out with such low health and being picked off, it does open a lot of space for Houston, which, it's very have it your way. Did that cost them the map there? Was it too much space that they got from it? You never really know, because there was ults coming up, so space would have been taken anyway. But 1-1, strong performances from both teams, but now we're going to be heading straight over to a break, so see you soon.
We'll see you on map 3.
Bosh.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 Say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 Anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Anybody. But to you. But to you.
To you, I'm anybody. To you, I'm anybody. To you, I'm anybody. Anybody. To you, I'm anybody. To you, I'm anybody. To you, I'm anybody. Anybody.
To you. To you.
Hello and welcome back to University Esports Overwatch 2 Winter 2023 playoffs bracket here. You're joining us in a quite a close set so far. Houston Outlaws versus Ken, where the score is 1-1, and we are going into map 3, which is going to be Saravasa.
Yeah, I mean, they're both playing so well, and they've both got very, very strong team comps that can be used in the right scenarios. But it's sometimes the map can just impact it all. It's not always going to be you and what exactly you want. It is going down to the map differences a decent amount, which it's scary, you could say.
And I think Saravasa and Flashpoint in general is going to be a perfect display of that, considering how Flashpoint obviously being 5 separate points potentially, or at minimum 3 separate points, which all look different, work different, they're all got different environment. So the team fights on these will matter a lot, and the comp differences, 2 very different comps being used by both teams here. So the differences might be exposed on certain points, which might favor one team more than the other.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's definitely where we will see teams shine and show their impacts, because it's no longer just one map. Oh, is it a good map for them?
Hey, you always have a
Is this bad for that team? But this one, it's a little bit of everything. So you really are going to see what team is more dominant in all aspects, rather than playing to their advantages. It's going to be playing to your advantages and disadvantages here, which should be a lot more interesting.
Yeah, especially in Flashpoint, where you cap the point so quickly. So even if a certain point may not favor your comp as much, first of all, the game is, in theory, technically decently balanced. So like you always have a fighting chance, and even then, you just have to win 1 or 2 fights, or maybe 3 if there's a lot of fights going on. But you don't need to win a lot of fights to capture a point. So we'll see.
But now we're going in, and the team comps are looking
for what we're expected.
Yeah.
got the ball on the side of Ken with the more broadly Junker Queen comp on the side of Houston.
Has there been a single change?
I don't think so. We saw Lifeweaver, we saw Lucio earlier on the side of Ken. We saw the Kiri and also the Lucio on the side of Houston. Lucio being a very important pick on these Flashpoint maps where you're just having to... Often, if you're just running around all the time, you may as well be running around quickly. So Lucio pretty impactful on these points, and we'll see Kent establish up on the point early.
It's looking a lot like the teams are just... This is my hero, I'm playing this one. And they will stick to that, which makes it a lot more fun because it means people are very technically advanced in that one hero.
Yeah, we've seen both teams also get a point so far, so keep doing what you're doing and hopefully you'll come out on top. But alright, we see Liv getting pressured there, being the only one on the side of Kent to actually try contest the point, so a lot of pressure on the ball here. And the Sojin as well, being contested by the Genji, but the healing just so strong on that single target. If nobody else is taking pressure on your team, the Lifeweaver can just give you all your attention you need.
Yeah, on these points where the teams are going to be grouped up, that Ashe Dynamite is so strong for forcing them out into the open and having to take that space. But as we say that, both teams colliding and saying enough is enough. We want to take this point
already. No, the point has not been captured yet, so this is going to be, despite Kent losing the first few players there, this Lifeweaver and just the point backpack on the point is that we're going to get the point first. Over health maybe going to make a difference here, but Ball just contesting for as long as possible. And I think the point is going to flip to the side of Houston here. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Lucio there, sadly, overextending a bit and not stopping the point from capturing, and instead stopping their lives.
Oh, no. And then Saki absolutely clearing up. Just mistakes like that, you have to be so careful and know that maybe I won't make it, so is it worth the risk?
Back here, it wasn't.
As a turn of events, because of how long it was to get the first capture, we are seeing another roulette, I guess you could say, of ults coming up. Who's going to ult next? Houston do have a lot ready, and it can make a big impact here, especially with that Junker Queen ult in these closed off areas where it's left side and right side, and that's it. That's the objective. There is no avoiding it.
And actually, both sides committing a lot here. Junker Queen ult, Lucio, Ball ult being committed, but who's going to come out on top? So far, nobody's fallen, but the Sojin being very low. Getting saved by Lifeweaver. But yeah, the point flips during that fight. Can get control, and now, with Sojin ult, going to be able to take down the Junker Queen, and Tequila clutching up. Ball going to fall potentially here, but not before getting rid of Lucio. And despite Houston taking the initiative during that point, Kent cap it and end up winning the fight. Tequila sticking around, but I feel like they're just delaying themselves here. Yeah.
I mean, the Ashe on this point is so strong for clearing out these corners, making sure you're not hiding behind cover for too long, keeping you in check, the Dynamite to flush you out, the Bob to take your space, the Boop to send you into a swinging ball. It's very scary, and we are seeing another Lifeweaver ult.
Yeah, popping it right at the beginning and right at the end of his points, life potentially, but Houston need to win this if you want to keep fighting off this point, and they do. Lifeweaver ult being committed, but apart from that, not much being done by the side of Ken, and actually, because of how fast this point caps, Houston are on track to win it. Ball dropping low, Tequila being identified as a target, but again, Alice just being picked off early. Sadly, Lucio just overextending a bit too much there, and Cool Beans trying to drag the team here to a victory, but nobody was on the point, and the first point gets to Houston.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but that did seem like a point that was very much in the cards for Houston. The Junker Queen, if given the chance, will absolutely shine there. Same with Made of Stone. The amount of cover and climbing areas that you can jump in, dash from, do a crazy ton of damage it's free reign there. But
and
as I
here we
say
go.
that,
Here's one of the points where the difference of comps might make an appearance. You're forced to play in a small little environment here, and despite the windows potentially allowing sojourns and whatnot to fight from afar, you can be far away from it at Stone. It doesn't make a difference apparently. They're just going to dash onto you, but the point flip goes to Houston, and I feel they may have the advantage on this point here.
Yeah, they've done a great job at using their ults in synchronized formats. They kind of force the team out. It's like, yeah, we're gonna kill two of you, and we're gonna get the point. What are you gonna do about it? Run away. And they've still got more ults to share.
Tequila getting caught out, forced to burn both cooldowns there. Potentially could be capitalized by Ken. It will be, because there's no bell to save him from that dynamite there. The dynamite getting insane value for the side of Ken. And they're just going to be firing through people through this window, and they're going to get a point. You're showing a little bit of a disrespect there, getting cool beans at the end, but point does flip, and Kent just have to win 2 more fights, and they even it up.
I mean, this seems like one of the most enjoyable matches you could watch. The difference in team comps, the difference in team players, and the way they're all coming together, it's so entertaining to watch. The way these teams are going back and forth, it really creates absolute action.
Wait,
oh, and Alice.
Poor Lucio. Yeah, Lucio almost falling there, just messing up on the wall a bit, getting caught in the corner. Lucio is committed.
Oh
I think got dragged into the air, so it actually fell a few seconds later than expected.
Very, very
But
close.
when 3 ults are thrown onto the point, it's going to be a difficult fight for Houston to win. But despite so many ults being committed, that's a good thing for Ken. Ken, the points here are so impactful. Dropping down a point here just means that you could potentially lose on the next one. So committing more resources here to keep yourself into the set for longer is absolutely worth it.
Ash, absolutely precise here.
Managed to make it, but that's both of the backline. That's the entire backline of Houston on the point, fighting. Saki falls by the ball. However, the Lifeweaver is traded out. Blade is popped. Gets one. Doesn't have to dash to get 2. Never mind. Lucio coming, donating himself to the Blade. And actually, Kiriko is also popped there. Maybe a bit too much, but again, if you want to secure the point, it's such an advantage if Houston win this, but they're just 2-0 up, so maybe throwing a few extra ults just to secure it isn't the end of the world.
The mines are coming up soon for the side of Ken, but they do have to be careful because the Sojourner is at the ready and ready to fly.
Yeah, you see Houston pushing up very far there to take the fight early, and it pays off. They get 2. Despite the point being contested by the ball and the Lucio, it's not going to be enough when 2 of their team has already fallen.
Oh, Saki. Don't do it to him.
And there we go. Ken threw so many resources earlier on this point that they just didn't have the ults to try taking in that last fight there. They banked it all a little too early.
It seems like not even a fight difference here, not even a team difference. It just seems like an ultimate economy difference. The winning team is the team that can rotate and manage their ults just that bit better, and that is how it's going. It's going in the favor of the team that has the ult for the last fight, and that is it. It is 99-99 every single time. There is no one standing team available. It is who's got the better rotation and ults, and whose team can just smidge alive for a little bit longer.
This is a very interesting fight. It's going to be about Kent love being on the high ground and just picking at everybody from just 7 different directions, and Houston going to have to fully commit to pushing the high ground if you want to dislodge some of these players. Or instead of committing to high ground, you can commit to Junker Queen ult. That also works. That'll get the job done.
Just clinical as always, T1.
Yeah, that's huge. That's very important for Houston to win if they want to just end the map here. Otherwise, we'd have to try rotate around, push different high grounds, try to dislodge the DPS off the side of Kent. But if they take the fight first and we just win the first fight, Kent are suddenly the ones having to aggress.
and they're going to be trying to take back the point here, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. The ults are gearing up and ready to go on the side of Houston, and the blade, the beat, the rush, it's just going to be so much in and out, quick damage. They need to be careful here, and they need to be fast with the kills they get. Saki going in early, and the blade comes out.
Tree of Life is committed, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Doesn't save the Sojourn, and absolutely does not save the Lucio as well.
Oh dear.
And suddenly this is extremely dire for Ken. No ults online, approaching the Lucio, but going to have to win this fight if they want to keep themselves on this map.
I mean, you're gonna be seeing the railgun and the rush here, and you don't even need an ult from the Junker Queen when you go that rush, because you can just do so much damage so fast.
Yeah, they pop it so early. They aggress onto the fight early, knowing that they can let the ball cap it, but if the rest of the team falls, there's nobody's gonna stop them from just capping the ball point back.
Yeah,
However,
someone does need to get back though.
Yeah, they do actually have to cap the point for that to make sense.
Oh dear.
Gonna have to sadly gonna take a lot of damage trying to touch early. Saki at the firing range, but not quite connecting. Oh, we didn't see that. The sun was in his eyes. And Lucio, last one on the point. And that is map 3 going to the Houston Outlaws. To make this set 2-1 to UCL so far.
Such a fast cleanup. I think Houston really got their fifth gear in there. Not a pun, believe me, but just managing to have ults all the time and just be able to clean up again and again. And this blade, this single kill here, could have won them that game. And it was so close.
Especially on Flashpoint. Ultimate Economy is so valuable, where the points just get flipped and won in like a matter of 2 or 3 fights. You just need to be able to rotate your ults effectively and have what you want online at the right moment. And in that game, Houston Outlaws just did it better than Kentamine.
Yeah, I mean, you've really got to give it to Saki and Made of Stone there. Their rules were really flipping the points. As much as everyone's were, but Blade from Made of Stone, it just seems like the Bob wasn't getting as much value as its counterpoint Blade, which, again, it's Bob's doing zoning, but Blade's getting kills. So what do you prioritize there when it's a 3v3? What needs to be done? A few seconds to survive, or the rest of the team gone? And for the side of Houston, they're picking the kills.
Genji's being so valuable for them, for not only the ult and just the win condition during a team fight, but also Houston's team is so grounded and just based off of pushing together as a team. They need somebody to be able to contest these high grounds, and in this case, you often saw the Genji on the Life Weaver Petal on the side of Ken, just actually contest it, because otherwise nobody would be able to really contest him. So Made of Stone here doing quite a lot for Houston, but we're going into our map 4, and again, a new map. We didn't see Push last week. This week we see Push, and we're going to Colosseo, which is Kent's map pick.
I'm really interested to see how Colosseo and Push as a whole works with these two team comps. You've got the Junker Queen, the rush, the quick in, out, damage, pow, 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 so much sustain. But the ball, how are you going to get it to the end when there's such close spawn times with the ball just constantly there, spinning, dashing, doing whatever the ball can do in bally ways? It's going to be very interesting, because it seems like Kent are going to get a lot of more fights quickly, but Houston are going to live throughout these fights just much more effectively.
I think it'll be a difference in DPS in this map. Both tanks they've chosen are very good at self-sustaining themselves on the point. Maybe Ball a bit more than Junker Queen, but this map has a lot of long sight lines, and I think Kent are backing their Ashe and their Sojourn, which is seemingly be their comfort pick so far, to abuse the long sight lines and just make sure Houston die before they can even reach them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good shout. I'm very interested to see what the supports do in this game. It's a very heal and support intensive section if the DPS aren't just getting one taps. If they are, then yeah, fair enough, it's the DPS. But
Not much you can do.
a lot of these push maps come down to, are the supports supporting? Are they doing their thing? But not just supporting, but the core but that makes the difference between a good support and a really good support is the you can support the other players, but you can have your own moments and you can really take down and putting a lot of chip to the rest of the team and get your ult faster.
Yeah, I'll be expecting a Lucio from both sides again. They seem very comfortable on it. They've been using it every point here, and it's very, very impactful on these push maps. Just getting to the bot quickly. The bot makes some interesting respawns sometimes when you're just after a checkpoint or just before a checkpoint. So the Lucio being able to rotate the teams in and out quickly is going to be very valuable for both teams.
Yeah, as we're going into this map here, we've got the same team comps, which I'm sure no one is surprised by, but I just really want to get in and see how they work against each other, especially in this first fight in that very long open space. It seems like it could go anyone's way.
All right, out the gates, and we see comp-wise, it's exactly what we expected. Lucio's on both sides, the more brawl comp on the side of Houston, and the ball and the Sojourn and Ashe being used on the side of Kent. Saki on the side of Houston also going to be a fan of these long sidelines, and the Genji as well. There are a lot of high ground COPs on this point, but we'll see how we're going. Schuster do for rotate, and Saki a bit out of position there, but makes it out alive. Not quite, actually. Yes, picked off by Cool Beans. Maybe dictating how this match is going to look. Life Grip out of position. 2-0 not quite getting the guaranteed kill they thought they were getting. And first fight seemed to go to the side of Kent here, which is early momentum, very important in these games.
I mean, you've got to give it to Houston. They tried something creative to close down the distance and play in their advantages, but it just didn't work. But Kent, they played that really well, even trying to straggle out the Junker Queen at the end of the fight and not kill her straight away to ensure that she was spawning late. And that's going to give them a lot more space here.
The very long sidelines are gonna, again, also just not allow Tequila and the Lucio to get quite as much value as they were hoping. The core of Houston's teams involves trying to get onto your backline as quick as possible, and these long sidelines are going to make it very difficult for them, as Kent can just play so far back if they want to. You see here, the ball is just up alone at the front contesting, whereas everyone else further back. Not far back enough, apparently. 2-0 getting 2 with that axe swing there.
Absolutely dirty from T-Roll, and now they do have that momentum.
Yeah, Kent slipped up once, played a little too close, and instantly the Houston Outlaws capitalized it and getting the win.
Yeah, it's a hard one to say. Could they have done it better? Could they have played their spaces and range a little bit better? Maybe they could, maybe they couldn't, but they're past that, and the Junker Queen ult coming out and doing so much damage.
Wriggle as well, just to keep this Junker Queen alive. Junker Queen, who's alone in the backline right now, being sustained by the Brig. But Genji also being committed onto the life pedal. There it is. Nobody else on this team can get up there, but this Genji.
I'm not sure if we needed that many ults, but it sure looked cool, and that's what counts.
Dashing up onto Lifeweaver's petal and making what they thought was a safe haven vulnerable to him. Yeah, and but with that team fight win, Houston gotta take the lead.
I'm not sure if we caught that there, but when the Junker Queen did it, they took a swing at their own Brigitte, which controversial choice, but you know it's a play, and they ended up winning the team fight. So point the ball coming out early.
Cool Beans on the high ground, but being contested by the Genji. Successfully contested, the Genji wins that fight there, but also on both sides being popped. Houston should be able to keep this Junker Queen alive, yeah, with both supports alive, but the point has been stolen from them, so now we just gotta jump back on it.
The robot is sneaking away here.
The robot is still going. There we go. Finally flipped, and the Lifeweaver getting pulled down from the pedal with the knife. Life being brought to an end.
You have to respect the attempt to steal the robot from Kent.
Hey, in this map, very important.
they did overstay their welcome just slightly as ball rolling around ended up on the far side from the support, and then the rest of the team from Houston were coming back and the spots were caught out alone.
Beautiful knife from 2-0 to secure the kill on the Asher. Soldier and Rail connects to Genji, but easily just drops back into cover. And this checkpoint is going to be contested, but so close to being capped. If they let go of this point at all, I think the checkpoint will be secured. Soldier online for the side of Cool Beans. Genji very low. Low enough to fall. Tequila popping Briggle. But again, you see Houston, they've dropped the members, but they've united as a team and they're just holding W together, making them look incredibly intimidating.
You've got to give it to Ken though. They do take the chance to push that robot away while they can. And it might not be a fight won, but it's 5 or 6 seconds won, and that's enough time for their team to maybe come back and give them one more fighting chance at team fight.
Yeah, you're not playing TDM here. You're playing a point-based game, and it seems Houston understand that. They took the fight on the point, are going to what seemingly come out on top on here and try get the point a bit further out forwards. Yeah, there we go. Actually, we've got a swap. I just noticed a Tracer on the side of Ken. Dropping that Astro Tracer instead. Maybe identifying that you want to be picking the DPS off early. Brig and Lucio are pretty self-sustaining support servers, so it's going to be difficult for Tracer here to find any early eliminations.
Houston are doing a really, really good job at separating the team of Ken and being able to spread them out and take out the squishy players quickly. Oh, made of storm!
Genji committed, gets one, but instantly replied by the Ana, another swap on the side of Ken. Pulse bomb got committed, but I don't think he got anyone.
Tracer just seems to be...
Yeah, the survivability of his Brawl comp, when Brawl playing together, it's just so difficult to break through the healing of Lucio and Break together.
The mines are ready soon though, they do have to be careful.
Saki with the rail, securing the kill on Cool Beans. Going to try get Ana, yeah, 3 people on you, got knocked, gonna be a bit too much. And likely they're using the last remains of that tree to survive a bit longer, but I think going to fall here.
Ooh, Rally forced out by the Tracer.
In a 1v1 against the Tracer, felt pressured and popped the rally, but I think they're going to use it to maybe push the
space.
Stormdor challenge? Touch for Storm.
Oh no! What are they doing?
Overextending way too much there.
Oh no.
Midstone gets one, but yeah, I think that's gonna lose a bit of momentum for Houston here, with the spawn being right there.
T-Wo could take this back with the Queen Ult and give them a bit of momentum, but no, they're playing it safe, they're taking it back. They know, listen, if the 3 minutes run out and we're ahead on push, we win. We don't need to get it all the way.
Yeah, again, this is it's a point-based game. You just have to be in the lead. You don't need to have the most eliminations. You don't need to have the flashiest play. You just need to have the point pushed up the furthest. However, so far, Houston still do have this point ahead, and Cool Beans gonna try fight against that, getting an early pick on Saki. The entire team in that little room there, only all getting connected by the Junker Queen ult. Winterstone pops Blade, but only managed to get one and getting traded out in return. This Life Leaf has been doing a lot for Ken. Cool Beans again. You can't leave this person uncontested. On the high ground, they're just at the firing range.
And they're doing a good job at holding out and make sure they can't end this game, but and really need to get some push soon. Maybe set their spawn back, give them a longer spawn, make some push. They need that first checkpoint direly. And
2 minutes left. Gonna have to make magic happen fast. When the closer you get to their spawns, the more difficult it's gonna be to push it forward. So you want to see a few back-to-back just dominant fight wins from the side of Kent if you want to see him remain in the series.
Yeah, I mean, the mine's already, it can do a lot of damage and take a lot of space, but Liv has to be very careful not to be feeding the DPS here.
Question of where do you commit the mines to? Do you drop it on the high ground to force the DPS down, or on the point in case somebody tries to contest it?
Yeah. Oh,
actually,
careful.
right into the back line, but Tree of Life is committed, and I don't think it's going to be enough. Saki with the Sojourn ult just breaking through. Doesn't care for the other health.
Hang on.
Have a look at the
the
point.
objective. You're going to give this team a good respawn.
They got to the checkpoint. That's incredible for the side of Ken. I imagine the ball being the one to push it so far forward there. Yeah, despite seemingly losing the like numbers-wise the fight, they ended up winning because they just got the point forwards and kept the point.
They didn't get the kills, but it's the small wins that matter.
Yeah, meaning later in the, it's gonna make it, if they get another fight win or two, it means that they no longer have to go through the long animation of capping the checkpoint, and they should have a real chance at winning this game.
Yeah, I mean,
Look,
it's looking a lot closer, but now the May coming out, it seems like they're pulling out their trump cards to close out this map.
Yeah, you've got the lead, you don't want to be surrendering it. May, excellent at just stalling on the point.
No, Diwo, don't do it.
Yeah, the icicles are no small threat to deal with. Actually,
A
pushing
little
the
bit
point forward
too
here.
confident there.
Oh, made a stone. So pushing the point here, pushing it closer to Ken, which with the time remaining, maybe a bit risky, but we'll see how this goes. Kent have to win this fight if they want to remain in this series and try to take this for game 5. Go online. In the field, however, the Baptiste on the side of Kent saving Cool Beans to be able to use the rest of their ult. Falling to the Genji.
Stone. Oh, made a
Genji
stone.
Midstone has been so good for the side of Houston, always pushing the backline and capitalizing off of the weaker squishies back there. And Houston win Colosseo, making this a 3-1 victory to the Houston Outlaws.
I mean, you've got to give it to them. Both teams deserve to give themselves a massive pat on the back because they both played so well. And maybe in that last map it looked a little bit less close, but the map before that took it to a 2-1 was so close. On the side of both teams, they both played extremely well, did so much, but it was just clinched ahead by Houston Outlaws there, and they both played their strengths amazingly. Maybe at the end of the day, Houston just had a little bit more strength.
Yeah, both playing just, it's seeming, I imagine, comfort picks, and they just played both to their strengths, but Houston just being a little stronger, being a little more comfortable, getting their win conditions more early. Kent just, especially with the comp they were running, left their backline exposed quite a lot. The ball can't be everywhere at once, meaning that once Houston saw an opening, they just ran over the backline and eventually ran over Kent as a whole, winning the series 3-1.
And you know what? We both bet on Houston.
Sadly, we tried to create an underdog story and narrative for Kent here, but sadly not managed to clinch it out.
I've got to give it to Tiwo, my MVP. Personally, not just because of the logo, but because they held down the points and stabilized so well. It just felt like, if you think of the definition of tank, that's what Tiwo did there, and you can't ask for more.
Yeah, a tank being very important to, any sort of composition, but especially in Brawl, being the centerpiece where the rest of the comp is built around it. And Tiwo putting a very strong performance up on that Junker Queen. Ken as well, making a lot of space, especially for the DPS, the Sojourn and the Ash often, making a lot of space for them. And when they were winning fights and when they were taking, the game very closely, it was often off of the back of just for DPS capitalizing off of the opening start. All mid for him.
But both teams, amazing job. And that was the winners bracket. So for the side of Kent, it is not over. You still have everything to win.
Yeah, we can take a look at bracket here, but I don't think it's quite updated. But Houston, the winning that, are going to be moving on to the semi-finals, waiting for the winner of whatever the other game was. Oxford versus UNESCO. There we go. Yeah. So the winner of that will be facing the winner of this, which was Houston, the Houston Outlaws. loser of that, Kent, going to losers bracket. So we could see this match again. Kent could go on a sweep through losers and meet him in grounds. But we'll have to see that next week. This week we know Houston won and Kent dropped down to losers. And we'll be seeing the rest of this bracket after the break.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody.
To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. Anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 Anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Anybody. But to you. But to you. But to you.
To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. Anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. Anybody.
But to you. But to you. But to you. But to you.
Hello and welcome back to the
Hello.
University Esports Overwatch 2 Winter 2023 playoffs. We're here, instead of with the gameplay and with the playoffs, we're here with an interview with Tiwo, the tank player on the side of UCL, of Houston Outlaws. Hi there. You put up a very strong performance under Junker Queen, but you did drop map 1, and the Kings Row game was maybe a bit closer than you would have liked. What do you think? Why do you think that happened?
So, Kings Row, there's a lot of high ground, which Junker Queen is hard to get on. So I remember there is one we are taking the point, and they were fighting on the higher ground, and the ball is hitting them on the higher ground, and I just stand in the point and I can't do anything. So like it's pretty hard for Queen. So actually, when we are playing Kings Row, our supporter gives a pretty nice plan for us, like the break ult to like let's say we decided to kill the Ashe and the soldier on the second floor. I mean, we just tried to dominate the high ground, and I was just wrongly jumped into the point. So like we were in a hurry actually, and Kings Row is pretty hard. And also I think the ball today is really a good player. He actually defend me very well. Like when we boost, when we speed up, he just bounce me back or just swap me. So like they're pretty good. It's hard game.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's a big comp difference. So on certain points, I imagine the comp made a smaller or bigger impact.
Yeah. So I've got to ask, do you guys have any other team comps you like to run? And what is a situation where you'd be forced to use them, say next week?
I think actually we most likely to play all Queen comps. When there is necessary, I mean maps like Dorado or something like that, we probably gonna play some like Doom or Diva. I'm not gonna say that a lot because my coach gonna
Yeah, you don't have to repeat everything.
But yeah, we play Queen comp a lot because we are good at calling someone, and I think if not that necessary, we won't change our comp. And we would like to fight with Sigma comp actually. When we are doing scrim, there's a lot of Sigma comp that is not that good, and we just rain them. I think, and another reason is that all players of our team are Chinese. They're really good, and we wanna beat the Sigma comp, Sigma Bastion and BAP. You know why? Because of the World Cup. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, I think your team's gonna play the winner of whatever the other quarterfinals game was. You feeling
really
confident
good.
about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident, and we are pretty confident. Let's say our team is really good. It's a nice team.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite, or do you not a favorite team you'd like to play against, or you're just gonna have whoever gets thrown at you?
We are not worried about that.
I like the confidence.
Very, very confident words from you there. As we saw last week, we had a player from UNESCO interview, and they are very, very confident also. But they do play a very brawly style of dive. But it seems like Junker Queen could have an easy time shutting that down, which could mean that you guys might end up being the kryptonite of UNESCO. So very, very good luck there. And
Thanks.
good luck in the rest of your games.
Thanks.
Okay, do you have any more questions?
No, I'm okay.
But do you have anybody you want to shout out? A coach, a player, a teammate from today? Any
I
socials of your
just
own?
want to shout out to all my teammates. They did a really good job because actually the enemy's comp is not good for me to like perform well, and I actually did very bad sometimes, and I didn't tell them. It's a secret forever. But yeah, my team is really good team, and I love them. And also shout out to my coach Dazzy. He invited me to the team. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, apparently the other game is 2-2 right now between Imperial and Oxford, so
Wow, it's close.
that's going to a game 5. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you'll be playing somebody fresh off of a very close win, I imagine.
Okay.
So we'll let you go. We'll let you prepare for whoever your opponent is. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for an excellent performance on Junker Queen. It was just a joy to watch.
Yeah, I'm the best Junker Queen in Asia. You know, I'm Han Bing.
Exactly.
Right
Also,
here on
also,
University.
also rep Dallas, big up.
All right. Thank you for
Okay.
coming on, and I imagine we'll come back with you guys after the break.
Okay. Thank you.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody.
To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. Anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 Anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Anybody. But to you. But to you. But to you.
To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. Anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. Anybody.
But to you. But to you. But to you. Tell me what can I do now? Tell me what can I do now?
Hello and welcome back to the University Esports Overwatch 2 Winter 2023 playoffs. We're here in the semi-finals of the winners finals, and it's Houston Outlaws, the team we just saw on stream, versus Unisco College, a team we saw last week. And what do you think about this match coming up, Finn?
I mean, it's so exciting to see. It's a good storyline. We've interviewed a player from both these teams. They're both in very, very strong teams in their games, giving us very close matches and strong performances all around. Very different team comps, and they do like to stick to what they know and love. I feel like we saw Unisco with a little bit more versatility in terms of swapping their team comps around to adjust to the situation, whereas Houston, they stick to what they know and they do it well. So I would like to see how they clash together and how they merge, and we are going to be seeing someone victorious and going into the grand finals for next week. So I'm very, very intrigued and enjoying following the storyline of both these teams. So who do you think's going to win?
Well, recency biased showed Houston Outlaws were very strong on the comp they liked, the Junker Queen comp, as we saw him use. But last week we saw Unisco College playing, I think it was a dive most of the time with Winston, and then one of their DPS was Reaper. You can see the bracket here. We can see that this is basically this is the winners finals. The winner of this moves into grands and is guaranteed a spot in grand finals next week. The loser of this drops down into the lower bracket, where they will have to play whoever crawls out into losers finals. Will have to face the wrath of the loser of this game.
Now we can't count out any of the teams who have been put into the lower side of the bracket, because you never know.
Strong teams down there.
There is definitely chances for a Cinderella story here, and neither of these two teams could end up winning the whole grand finals. But forget about the lowers for this week and this match. We've got Unisco versus Houston Outlaws. So strong and so good at what they do. Houston, they go for a more lockdown, stable core team, and Unisco, they do go for a bit more dive, and they do have a lot of damage. I feel like in terms of team comp, Houston definitely do have a bit of an advantage, but Unisco, they do have a very strong Reaper player, which, if they are able to pressure the Junker Queen enough, will then make it so their team comp does have a lot better chances. All depends on the Reaper for me, on how the team comps affect each other. But I'm interested to know how you think they're going to clash into each other, and what strengths and weaknesses they might have.
So on paper, a Junker Queen Brawl comp will do pretty well into a Winston comp. Winston not... If you're all playing together, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to find a single target to capitalize off of them, especially when there's the potential break in the backline, when there's a Junker Queen shout to try bail some people out of situations. But I think it'll depend a lot on how well Houston are playing their Brawl, if leaving any weak points for Unisco to try capitalize off of. However, you're right that the DPS are going to be very important here. If a Reaper comes in and just like one-shot somebody, it doesn't matter how well you structure your comp, and it doesn't matter how you've positioned everybody. If you're just down a player, the fight is going to be an uphill battle. So I think it might be a display of the DPS here. I think both teams like playing Sojourn as well. Obviously, Sojourn with the dive being very good, because you can just actually follow your dive. But as well, against Rush, if you're being pressured, you can just run off to a different, just slide into a high ground. So I think Sojourn pick is going to be very strong here.
Yeah, I think but both teams have quite strong picks into each other, and it can go either way. So, I mean, going off that, it really just comes down to the skill difference in the players and how well they keep the positions they need to be in, because both teams have very strong team comps for punishing bad positioning. So, like we saw on the ball on King's Row, just going too aggressive one time, getting punished, and then they take the objective. Slight mistakes here are going to change the course of the game entirely, which, at the end of the day, that's what Overwatch is about. It's not just killy kill. It's how you can position yourself and how you can take these objectives as a team and perform under the pressure of all of the factors that are coming at you.
From what I'm hearing, yeah, we just described high level Overwatch. You've gotta play well. You've gotta not make mistakes. You gotta capitalize off of the opponent's mistakes. We just described hopefully a high level game of Overwatch.
There we go.
And we expect the teams to hopefully deliver on that. They seem very comfortable on the respective comps. It seems very well practiced, scrimmed. We've interviewed both teams, and we've both mentioned having some sort of coach working in the background. So they seem very practiced on what they're good at. We saw Houston told us that they'd prefer to stick to their Junker Queen comp and what they're good at, but they are able to, on certain maps and certain situations, swap onto something more different, like a Diva or a Doomfist. We haven't seen that from UNESCO, but it's partially because we just haven't had to. They won 3-0 last week. They just played what they were good at, and they played it well.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of confidence coming out from the side of Houston. We saw quite a, as the kids call it, Sigma approach to how you play the game and how you respond to the other teams, and how you place yourself and your confidence. Yeah,
2-0 didn't care about who was playing next. He was just ready to get into the next game and just beat whoever came out.
Yeah.
That does mean that because we are seeing UNESCO here, that they beat Oxford. The game went to map 5. It was 3-2 to UNESCO College. Oxford are now still in the bracket. They're still around. They're in the lower side of bracket, and they're now playing Portsmouth Paladins. On the other side of Losers bracket, we have Warwick Angels playing Kent, the team who put up a fight but sadly lost, ended up losing to Houston in the stream game we just had on here.
Yeah. As we are waiting for teams to be joining these teams, we speak a lot about Overwatch, a lot about what these teams love to play. But I want to ask you, who's your favorite hero to play?
What do I like to play? Well, I think I'm a born Lucio main. That's just the movement on that character is absolutely unparalleled. When I picked up a game and I was just fumbling around playing every character known to mankind, I saw DSP Stanky's all just Lucio montages, and I was like, I'm inspired. And then after that, I became a Reddit Lucio, running it down. Since moving to PC a few years ago, I've just started playing anything. But at my heart, in my soul, I'm a Lucio player.
Yeah, I've got to say, I spent a fair amount of time streaming Lucio, blasting Eurobeats, thinking I was
absolutely
the greatest Lucio of all time. Can't hear the game, jamming head, killing backlines with Lucio. It's very, very fun. But my heart belongs to Reinhardt.
That explains so much. You're such an advocate for King's Row and just Ryan being played and stuff.
You've got to run it down. Hey, they went King's Row and they won it.
Hey, they got no Ryan, but they still ran a Brawl comp. They ran the DLC. They ran the Overwatch 2 Ryan. They ran Junker Queen, and it worked for him.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure if I dig deep enough, I can find my fast-paced Eurobeat just soundtracks that I have somewhere in my YouTube that I just blasted when I was playing Lucio.
Absolutely. That's who plays Lucio when you can hear the game? What's the point of that?
Optional. You just have to stay alive. It's all you need.
Game sound cringe,
But all right, predictions time. So if you're doing a Preds, who's your favorite here to win? I know we saw a very strong performance from Houston just on stream. However, last week UNESCO put on a stronger performance, getting a 3-0 victory compared to Houston's 3-1 we just saw on stream.
I mean, this isn't easy. They're such a strong team. This might be the hardest pick yet, since we have seen a lot of both these teams and the performances they played. We do have evidence on who we pick now, but I'm gonna back UNESCO on this one.
Okay, all right. You were a fan of the Winston Reaper dive?
I think the Reaper is what will be the core difference.
Well, in that case, I know last time we both picked the same team trying to create an underdog story, but no, I'm Albach Houston made a incredibly fun comp to watch. I just like Junker Queen holding W and just getting job done. We're on. We have a map.
Yeah.
We're on Lijiang Tower.
There is a
Last
map.
week, today was Houston. I don't know if picked it, but Houston ended up playing on Lijiang today, and it was the one map they actually dropped against Kent. Last week we saw Unisco going to Ilios, however, and obviously winning their game there.
Yeah, I mean, I do love both team comps from Lijiang Tower. They both work incredibly well on all of the maps. But I'm thinking about the tanks here. No brain, forget everything I've ever thought of. I'm thinking about tanks. I think the Winston might just have the edge, especially on Garden. Being able to close these distances, being able to cut off the bridges, and playing the spaces that they wanted. I think the Winston might just take the advantage here, and that's why I'm backing Unisco a little bit.
I'm hoping we saw last time that Houston pulled out a very strong backline where Lucio and their Brig ended up being very adept at just surviving. Both characters, obviously, the shield and having self-sustain heals, they can pull it off pretty well. So I'm hoping that with just the combination of the self-sustain in the backline as well as just potential of suddenly Lucio and Junker Queen just suddenly decide they want to run in, they just amp speed, shout, and just hold W. I kind of like the idea of. I see the vision of Unisco committing to a dive, Houston ignoring it, just running for the backline and getting half the team right there and then. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be a fun match because hopefully it'll be down to the actual gameplay. It won't be won in the hero select screen. It'll be won on the point. It'll be won via just the better team winning, I guess. But here we are.
Market here first. Definitely, probably the most interesting map for these two teams to clash on. Oh, I've seen some differences already. They're not trolling me.
That's not the Junker Queen character. Wait, no, that is the Junker Queen character. That's not the Winston character. I think we saw Doomfist be used in overtime of Blizzard World to stop the point from capping the second point on Blizzard World on defense, and then Wanton just stuck on it for a few more minutes and just actually did pretty well. So this isn't incredibly surprising, but it's just not what we were expecting. Both teams using the sim here to teleport up, but swapping off instantly.
Oh, Wanton.
Whoa, pushed onto point early. Not quite burst through, but the Doomfist didn't have the cooldowns online to try capitalize off of it. However, charge punt is on, doesn't hit anyone. Reaper just, with the self-sustain, the life heal, running around the pillar, but Tequila's the first one to fall. However, Wanton falls soon after. A pick on both sides, and the point gets first taken up by Unisco.
The Reaper's doing such a good job at keeping Junker Queen at bay. It's taking down my Maid of Stone.
This Genji that we saw, both teams actually often use the Genji, but yeah, we saw Maid of Stone just last map put a very good performance on this Genji with both the blades and just a raw Genji performance, and it's a very big and important part of this team. So, however, Unisco winning the first fight, but very quickly, only getting 20% before Houston managed to cap it back in their favor.
We need to highlight the ults here. Both charging their ults very, very quickly, especially for this map and the team comps they're playing. The Doomfist, not surprising as much with the ult charge. I feel like Doomfist just needs to squeeze a little bit of more value out in these fights.
Yeah, both sides committing a Lucio ult there. Queen ult also being committed, swinging, gets one, and forcing Doom to run out as well. And yeah, that's just a dominant showing by Houston, but both sides committed quite a few ults, but Houston coming out on top.
Yeah, I would have liked to see the Winston more against this team. But the Doomfist, I understand the Doomfist pick, but I feel like it's struggling here to protect the backline as much, especially from this Junker Queen getting in quickly.
Yeah, it's about, I think, who makes the first move and who successfully pulls off the first move here. However, Unisco currently, they made the move and they made it well, getting two to open up our fight there, and they're hoping to take it, cleaning it up with the Reaper ult.
Yeah, it's a good fight for them. using a couple support ults, but it was early on in the fight, so they got a little bit of ult charge back by the time the fight was over. Both support ults gone for Houston as well, but they do have the DPS ults ready. The Doomfist ult might be used to slow them down, create a bit of mayhem in the back line.
Doomfist are actually connecting with Junker Queen, Rafa, and Lucio, but
Both blades come out.
getting messy, but both carries are still alive, on point, gets their health back. Doomfist gonna come back, try contested Junker Queen, but how much can you do? Junker Queen swinging into the air, sadly nobody around that corner to hit him.
Lucio getting in touch with the Reaper.
Rare form is out, but he got back to full HP during that time. Not going to be enough, however. And the Sojourn ult committed as well. A lot of ults being thrown out here. However, Houston do end up cleaning up the fight and winning it there.
They did take it. Unisco did a decent job at managed to hang on, get the percentage up a little bit, and build their ult charge for the next fight, for the recontest.
Yeah, so what are we hoping to see here? What's the win condition for Unisco? No ults quite online. Somewhat approaching a few.
I don't see big killing ult here for Unisco.
Yeah, Houston are also still having the Lucio ult, so having a get out of jail free card if they need it. Lucio's popped early.
The beat is used early by Unisco. Not Unisco, sorry, Houston.
A little too early. Not really being threatened too
Oh, and a
much
big
there.
punch from Doomfist to stop the Junker Queen ult.
Doomfist flies off, has the recovery to make it back. Unisco taking the first pick. Houston do have the rush online. Not going to be able to capitalize off of it. Kiriko teleporting out. Joe gets one. A lot of the side of Unisco very low. Will the Kiriko fall? Not quite, but the Reaper will. And Houston Outlaws, team from UCL, taking the first point there.
It was a very clean play. I think they've done a really good job at separating the Doomfist and the Reaper's players. The Doomfist isn't managing to get the hits in and the stuns in and create a bit of chaos for the Reapers to go in and get that damage. And it's really, really affecting the Reaper's ult charge. If the Reaper could have got a few more big hits in there, the ult would have came out and we don't even know what would have happened in that fight after. As we all know, Reaper ult equals a lot of kills.
Well, yeah, our base level of gameplay, we'll see. There are some ways to work around it, however. Both sides opening up with same, just going to get to the point a bit quicker. But we are seeing Unisco stick to this Doomfist pick. Going to make it to point a bit quicker. With the dive computer, you'd hope so at least. Fighting on this bridge here.
They're going to have a much easier time getting that space early, but it depends whether they're going to be able to hold it.
And yeah, no DPS on the side of Unisco. I'm really going to be enormous fans of the fight being taken here. Yeah, the Reaper getting struggled. There's no real long-range DPS to try to capitalize off of the sidelines that they're given by this rotate. However, Houston are going to just be big fans. They can just slowly approach the point how they want. Get on, but not quite, maybe not going in the favor the way they were wanting it to.
Unisco really playing this well, even with the loss, to be able to disengage, force the objective, and then go back in with that Genji and get an early pick. It's the disengage and re-engage there was near perfection. To be able to escape, put that pressure on the point, get that kill, and then slow the fight down a little bit while the team comes back in. You do have that 1 kill advantage on the respawns, and it showed. They are building these ults here. The Reaper is still struggling to find value, getting a little bit lost in these team fights, being trapped. But I believe both teams can turn this around.
Absolutely, yeah. The Genji making a surprise appearance in the backline here. Actually getting the Reaper, the Lucio even, insanely well identified target. Falling, that's a big hit for the survivability of Houston, and it's shown by the rest of the team falling behind.
Absolutely huge Doomfist ult from one to be able to get the Brigitte slow near the whole team and just really allows the Reaper and the Genji to engage efficiently.
Houston just going back to this. They've been taking this fight. Everybody's been fighting here. Nobody wants to go on the bridge. There's Lucio's boobs on this map. Everyone's identified the white room is how they want to get in. Rush gets thrown in, putting the fight in the favor of Unisco. Ults are thrown out. Sojourn online. Will it get popped? Yes. Houston trying to get this loose here, but a little too slippery for the Sojourn.
Oh,
Go. End up losing the point there.
could
But
go either way
seem to be
here.
winning number-wise, actually. Individual plays being made on the side of Houston.
The big slash from Junker Queen might just.
Lucio is under so much pressure, but the Kiriko alleviating it a bit, teleporting away from that swing.
Watch out, Junker Queen. The Reaper's back and he's got the ult ready to clean up your team.
My favorite when it's that Reaper guy. Reaper guy gets rid of the Echo. And I don't know for how for the 4th, 5th map flipping that point.
Yeah, I mean,
This game is coming so close.
Doomfist in these close tight areas is building the ult so fast. He's got it ready again with the slam down, and with that slow, the Reaper's going to get such an easy ult off if he's not careful. And it's blocked.
Oh, it's off, but doesn't capitalize on it with it.
Made
Doesn't
of
get
stone.
anyone.
Stone.
And actually, we're approaching the point about to get capped by Houston. Reaper contest, but you can't.
Contest.
No Brave Fall online. Bell buys a second. And again, the point gets flipped.
I mean,
How
You
many
gotta give it
times
to
is it
the
going to happen?
you got to give it to them. They're not to fight. They're not to take the objective. They just need to be able to cling on for long enough and build these ults.
Speaking of ults, neither side really having any yet. Actually, Unisco just want to correct me, prove me wrong. I'm getting the Kiri ult online. The Echo swap has been on a bit for Houston. They've had it for a few fights now, but approaching it all maybe going to be pretty impactful in this fight. Rush is on the top point. Will it make a difference?
Oh,
Again,
he's
it's
coming
so
down that
messy.
side. Oh, that punch. It's given the Reaper so much space. Oh, and he gets taken down. The copy's struggling to find value here.
However, the copy itself isn't finding value, but it still makes enough space. Getting another tank on the field forced Unisco to back off there.
Yeah, it's
We're approaching just last fight territory here.
really pushed Unisco into a situation where they need to be careful here. And the punch in the boot.
That's such a big kill to be getting. Junker Queen, just the source of sustain on this team. Punching into the wall, not wanting to risk flying off.
Blade of
Blade is
stone,
popped
blade
though.
again.
Gets one.
Just needs to
Doomfist
clean up
gets
there.
goes. Gets two. So close. Yeah.
Oh, and it seems like Houston are just going to be able to
And
take the
by
point.
the skin of their teeth, Houston managed to not only take the point, but take the first map in this series, putting them 1-0 against Unisco College London.
Now, what do you think went wrong for Unisco there?
What went wrong for Unisco? Well, first of all, we didn't see a lot of this Doom last time. Maybe it's a map-specific thing, maybe it's a comp thing where they're not comfortable playing the Winston into this comp here, but I'm wondering to see what they'll stick to for the rest of this series.
Yeah, I see the vision. I just don't think the Reaper and the Doomfist are pairing well enough together to find that value. With the Winston, when they dive in, it creates a bubble, a nice area for the Reaper to get that damage in, get that press, the power, the self-heal, and be able to sustain long enough in that little bubble for long enough for the healers to come in and help. Whereas the Doomfist is more of a singular player.
The Doomfist is able to slow down some rush attempts if Junker Queen appears in your backline with no cooldowns. A singular punch might buy enough time and enough CC to try punish him for overextending, but I don't think we saw enough of that in that match to warrant sticking with this Doom, especially since we saw last week just how strong they are on the Winston.
Yeah, I mean, Houston did a really good job at avoiding it. There was so many good plays from both teams, but Houston just felt like the Junker Queen had a bit of control over the Doomfist, not allowing him to free reign as much as he would like to create the space needed for the Reaper. But at the end of the day, I think the change it made was the way these teams played together. The Blade seemed more of a surprise attack when it was coming from Houston, whereas from Unisco it seemed like, okay, they have Blade, what are we going to do to block it?
All right, we are moving to hybrid, and yet again, hey, last week we saw the same 3 maps. Maybe this week we'll see the same 4 maps. Who knows? But that means that we're moving to King's Row here, and I know you're happy, but tell us why why Unisco might have picked this.
It's an interesting pick from Unisco to me, because of course Doomfist and Winston can shine in their own right, but maybe there's not been enough preparation against the Junk Queen, because the Junk Queen is very, very strong here. But I'm not going to count them out, because they do have a very strong dive team, and they do have a very oppressive, pokey, get in fast, do that damage after the poke team, which is very, very good on King's Row if you're able to counter attack the Brawl. It just depends, do they have something they're going to pull out of their back pocket to go against Houston here, or are they just picking it as a comfort? Which we know can't be 100% true, because last week they were on Blizzard World. We don't know
I'm not sure if that was their pick though. They would have won, so it wouldn't have been their pick. Whereas this is
maybe King's Row is their comfort pick then. But do they have a plan? That's what I'm thinking.
We saw Houston play earlier. On paper, we just saw Brawl, King's Row. Yeah, no, good. They'll just win this. But it ended up being a lot more difficult than anticipated, just because as the interview with 2-0 proved, that it's very difficult for them to contest the high grounds. And First Point has a lot of high ground surrounding that point. The rest of the map as well. The first choke point on the payload section has high grounds everywhere. It's not as easy as it may seem for Brawl comp to succeed on this map, and maybe that's what Unisco's planning on using here.
Yeah. But as we're going into this map, I'm looking forward to see how they play against it, because we do have Unisco on attack first, which is probably their strongest suit here. They like to go fast, and fast suits attack. I do like the Widow pick though. Widow picks are always interesting, because if you get it right, it can just mean an instant win.
If you get it wrong, you just lose a few minutes, a few seconds even, depending how long you stick on it. But again, yeah, sticking to this Doomfist, I think this is their answer to the Junker Queen.
Yeah.
Not feeling very comfortable to run Winston into the combo.
It's definitely a good idea.
And Houston sticking with old reliable. Sticking with what we've seen him run this entire time. So going to use the longer sideline here, just spray down early, try charge shot, rail shot, bailing the Kiriko out of pressure there. The E forcing the Genji to back off a bit. However, maybe this is why we saw the Doomfist. Yeah, Junker Queen overextending there. A combination of the punch and the rest of the damage output falling early in this fight.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how it's going, because Unisco definitely seem to have upped the pace a little bit, and this is clearly where they shine, because they've just absolutely steamrolled the first objective.
Yeah, the 2-0 overextending a bit on the a little surprise in the back line, not gonna be enough. Alright. 2-0 overextended a bit on the Junker Queen, the Doomfist punch just made that 2-0 went even further back, and just the team wasn't there to bail him out of that situation. And
yeah,
look, this is last point we saw after the first point, Houston held him at the first choke point. Held Ken at the first choke point right after the point, but here Unisco are just instantly pushing forwards and pushing him as far as back as possible to just get as much progress on this cart and as much space as possible.
Yeah, this is very run-of-the-mill classic Snowball. They got the first point, they caught off the stragglers, they punished them for still being there. Now they've got a lot to work with. They have to be quite safe here, not to throw away that advantage. because push too hard, Houston are going to be able to bite back quick.
Alright, Doomfist ult was committed. Doesn't get anybody, but it does force them all back. 2-0 in a precarious situation, falling due to the rest of the team just falling onto him. And whew, you just got to clean up that fight. This Doomfist pick, you know what? Maybe I questioned it too soon.
Yeah, it's interesting because for situations like this where you are snowballing, Doomfist is so valuable. It's so good. But there is a
regrouping.
but it
However,
can be
they are
stopped.
trying to push into a rush.
Oh dear. The blade comes out and it's doing a lot of damage. Creating a lot of
Serving that
space.
dash, knowing the Kiriko teleport out. And that is the first fight I think this game Houston has come out on top on.
Yeah. UNESCO do have to be aware here not to commit too many ults in this next fight straight away, because they are going to be fighting a losing battle. Whereas if they take a bit of time, build their ults a little bit, because it's not looking good if you ult early against Houston here, because Houston have got 4 online.
Houston are playing these high grounds. Thankfully, Unisco have a Genji, a Doombe. They're able to contest them, but are they able to contest an ulting Sojourn with Lucio over heal? We'll see. Actually, just run away. So the ult mainly not getting a lot of value as anticipated, but Houston managed to still get to regardless. And Unisco are yet again forced to back out or just lose the fight there.
See, this is the problem with UNESCO's team comp. It works very well when it's working, but once it stops working, it's very hard to fix what's going on and get it working again. It's not impossible, but they're going to need to use their ults well and shut down Houston really, really well here. Because
Yeah, they're approaching the Doom here, but I'm not sure how much. It'll be a question of how much value we can get with it, because this is not an ult well known for taking 5Ks, especially when Briggs over health is in the question. Sojourn on the high ground here. Break just swinging around, keeping the team alive. Ult running out, and actually, ult running out makes a big difference there. Falls early, and Unisco capitalize off of it and just continue pushing forwards.
UNESCO do have to be careful because that Doomfist is low and the Junk Queen can do a lot, but Junk Queen gets taken down by the Reaper.
Yeah, Doomfist fell, but it's absolutely not enough. And Unisco, after a few fights there, a few scouting fights, managed to secure the point here on King's Row.
Yeah, I mean, this is going nearly exactly according to plan here. As most people do find, the last point is a little bit harder to take. It's a lot more close at this range. This is normally when snowballs begin to end, as teams start to come together, figure out what they have to do, and rally.
Yeah, both points. Oh, Doom gets committed. Gets one. Yeah, gets one. There we go. Breaking through the healing of the team there. 2-0, however, one will not be enough. Junker Queen is behind Houston here.
Oh, the Reaper.
Oh, the Reaper guy falls down, but I don't. Survives alive somehow. Not really.
Just a perfectly timed beat there to save the entire team, really.
Yeah. Oh, gets committed. Oh, I think the fight might have already been won. But Unisco managing to keep themselves in this fight here despite getting picked off early. It's so messy. So many ults being committed. Junker Queen ult perfect for a scrappy fight like this. Being able to negate the healing, but I don't think it's capitalized off of really.
The Suzu are just so good at dealing with it. But Hovey managing to get a kill. Even this up here, the kills on the side of Houston do mean a lot more here because the spawns are so close.
Yeah, and despite all the chaos, Houston managed to stabilize and hold this point a bit longer. A minute 20 remaining, so Houston's still gonna have a few more attempts. It's still gonna have to fend off a few more attempts from Unisco College.
Yeah. But in the mind of Houston here, they're gonna be thinking, "Oof, we got them past the 1 minute mark. That's a big that's a big objective that you need to get. You need to whittle them down to at least a minute, otherwise things could go bad quickly.
Doomfist pushing 2 off the high ground. This Doomfist is very good at doing that. Doesn't quite get the punch off. And having to try to fend off from a rush here. CC going to buy a few seconds. They're all going to buy a few more.
Risky.
But doesn't quite get a kill. And I think actually gets bailed out by his team. Manages to come out alive. Never mind. I lie. Sometimes I be lying. What can I say?
He's coming out from
again.
It's
These
you hate
fights
to
are
see
so-
you
these
hate
fights
to
are
see
so
it.
scrappy.
You hate to see wasted ults, but sometimes it does just happen, and it's sad because the beat in this last fight could have been monumental, but it's gone, and they have to try and move past it and not get tilted. The rush is still there though, and it's coming out. They do almost have to bleed. But
He and Luke going live.
earlier.
Gets one. Oh, he used to.
Oh no!
Ah. Surely not.
They were under a lot of pressure if they touched
Not
the
in-
point.
Not in the playoffs. Not in the semis. To give him to give him a benefit of doubt. To be fair, they were low on numbers. Instantly after the round ended, the rest of their team fell, but still not what you like to see in these sort of situations.
Yeah, it's obviously not ideal, and you hate to see it, but still a strong fight from Unisco, and it's going to be hard to beat, especially with the records we've been seeing on this map so far.
Yeah, Houston coming out with managing to prevent the full cap. Still, Unisco did get to basically the end. They got a lot of the way through, but basically the end and the end in payload maps make a big difference.
Yeah. Seen no changes so far, which is strange.
Yeah, Unisco opting to stick with the Doomfist. I guess it is just a comfort into this matchup that there must be something they don't like, and it's the reason we're not running the Winston here.
Yeah, it's ooh.
Oh,
We're seeing
Oh.
the Widow and Hanzo coming out from
Oh.
Houston.
the double sniper. This was a real comp on this map for a very long time, maybe just to get some opening damage off. Falls back, yep, swaps back onto the Genji. Made a stun, apparently just a Shamada expert.
Yep, that's what they do.
Re-
The Reaper
from-
taking a little bit too much space here in a risky situation. They need to be careful.
Trying to teleport out, not quite successful, but Wanton buying the space the Reaper needed to back off with just a push to pull everybody back. However, somebody's got to contest a point.
That bleed, it's working wonders for Houston here.
Yeah, Houston, that was such a clean fight from them. They just managed to bait the abilities out that they wanted, get the Reaper, pressure the Reaper early, and just kept that momentum and just held forwards.
The bleed, the Sojourn E to create the AoE effects, the Genji dashing in and out. Like every time someone dies, if Genji hit them, he just gets that dash back and he can go in and in and in and in and again. It poses too much for Unisco there. No, 2-0. Not taking out the Reaper that
The
early.
goal, the best Junker Queen in Asia, putting on a masterclass of the character here. Such a joy to watch.
I mean, you heard it here, folks. Better than Harbin.
Hey, word of the street is, it's true.
I don't know. He's putting up a strong performance. I didn't see Dallas Fuel beating Unisco.
So true. But you see, Unisco, in this situation, they pushed up right to the end to just take as much space as possible. Houston, having a bit more of a brawly comp, just opting to stick in the payload, sticking together as a team.
You know their space and they like it. Oh no. Don't let him do it.
Managed to get one.
The
So much
support
potential there. Just not getting the support that he needed. And Houston just backing off. Just acknowledging that it's probably a lost fight and not giving it any more resources than they need to.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit scary for Unisco here because
Oh, Saki thinks he's heard someone. Is it true? I don't think so, but gonna have her attention split. Reaper, Reform is burnt early, and Reaper Sojourn gonna be scary, yeah. Not able to get out of that one alive. Saki uncontested on the high ground, Genji forcing them off. And Saki falls. The rest of the team, whilst the rest of the team was following Saki, Houston manages to clean up everyone else.
They do have to be careful here because the main man coming back first is the Reaper, and they do have the ult. It can be enough to stop these two, slow them down just enough. They need to be quick seeing it. The Kiriko is there with the Suzu now.
Reaper gets a jump scare, but thankfully deflected online to buy a few seconds for the Genji to make it out alive. Sojourn sitting far back with his rail, just pressuring everyone. Heat comes through as well for the side of Unisco to keep them all alive. And 2-0 isolated from the rest of his team. Doesn't make it out alive. Wanton, however, apparently was also isolated and fell to the Genji here. There it is. The funny ultimate. Doesn't get a kill, but does buy space for the rest of the team to capitalize off of it. And Unisco managed to hold his point.
Yeah, it's a good hold, but they are ultimate down here, and they do have to be quite careful. You know, made of stone here with the blade, it can do so much. Do they have the beat? No. All they have really is Suzu or a punch to deal with it. Used to know that, and they're going to be getting in quick, and they're going to be ready to use it.
All right, Blade gets one. Damages the Doom, but focuses attention to Genji.
Oh
gets
no!
Alive. The point.
The blade creating so much havoc on the point. They have to run back in chaos.
This is perfect for the. Ooh, that's not perfect. Having a close fight on the point is perfect for the Junker Queen, as we see here, especially with the Russian line. Every ability Duo would ever want.
No, the kills there and the Junker Queen already. It's going to cause havoc taking this next point.
There. And 3 minutes to push it to almost the end here. Houston are in a very strong position to take the second map.
Unisco do have the ult advantage, which is fair enough to them, but they do have to be very careful here about overextending. They do it one or too many times, it's over.
2-0, you see, yeah, look, 2-0 pushes a bit far forwards, and the Doomfist punch.
And they make use of it.
Almost gets a kill, but baited a little bit by using the Junker Queen ult in response. Gets a knife.
Now hitting free.
So much damage is done, falls in the process, but I think the damage was enough. Blade pops, Hero's Blade, but it's not going to be enough, and is anyone else going to be able to touch? Wanton comes back, Noel online to be able to stall out a bit longer here as well. Kiri Rush as well committed, and I think Unisco stabilized this fight here. It actually forced Houston to back off.
Yeah, that was very well played from the Kiriko there to be able to get back in. Do a little bit of chip damage, keep the Doomfist ult, and then use that Suzu near perfectly.
So scary for Unisco, but yeah, perfect identification of how to keep themselves in this game.
Oh, but the beat comes
Blade
out, the
pop.
blade's there. The
Yeah,
Lucio's ready for it, going in for it.
Doom,
Oh, the Russian and Rogan's going to be ready, and that's it. No person is left.
Incredible clean win from Houston there. Just acknowledged that the last fight wasn't going their favor, backed out, stopped committing resources, regrouped, and just went back in and got the win here on King's Row, putting the match score to 2-0 to the Houston Outlaws.
I mean, they as clean as butter, really. Taking out both the supports with a blade, that's all you can ask for, really. And
That's the
they've done it perfectly.
Yeah, that's the Genji Overwatch right there. Just get rid of the back line. What's the rest of the team gonna do?
Yeah.
And that was Unisco's map pick. So we saw a bit more of what we were expecting from the Doomfist. managing to capitalize off of the Junker Queen being slightly out of position in moments. However, it was not enough to secure a map win here. Pushing it almost to the end is not good enough. You need to be pushing it to the end, and on defense as well. Obviously, not being able to prevent the full cap.
I'll tell you what I think more about it and what they should be doing in this next match right after the break.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody.
To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. Anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 Anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Anybody. But to you. But to you. But to you.
To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. Anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. Anybody.
But to you. But to you. But to you.
And we're back with University Esports Overwatch 2 Winter 2023 playoffs. We're here on a map free against the Houston Outlaws and UNESCO College London. Currently 2-0 up to Houston. However, Finn, you were telling me you're about to impart great knowledge on me before we got stolen away to the break. So what have you come back with?
I'm gonna bless you all with a little bit of knowledge and a bit of Finn Hay pizzazz here for this last map. See, UNESCO have been doing so well with making the initial push, getting the snowball going, but I think they need to use this to get a nice placeholder, get a couple of the characters some nice ult charge and get their position in the map going, and then swap to a more stable core team. We have seen them on other characters other than Winston doing this. Might not have been for that long, but I'm sure we saw them on some more stable characters in the first best of 3 last week. And I would like to see them use some of that. I think we did. I could be wrong.
I think we saw a Rissa from them, but
If-
we're
if
about
they
to see a
pull it
lot
out-
of opportunities for various characters as we are going to Servasa, obviously the Flashpoint map here, chosen by UNESCO. So hopefully they have some sort of game plan here, some sort of win condition we're going to be playing for. As I was saying earlier, allowing Flashpoint in general as a game mode where you can play a lot during the set because there's just so many different points where so many different heroes can succeed. But they've chosen it. Last week they played New Junk City because it was the opponent's pick. This week we've chosen another map. So hopefully there's a reason why.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how the team comps work because Flashpoint is very quick and it demands a lot from teams. The faster team that Unisco is playing, where it does feed off a lot of that snowball, can work here because it's all about managing your ultimates. Do you want to commit everything to this point and then have nothing for next? Do you play safe so you can take this map? But we'll have to see in the map that we're going into now.
All right, we see what we're expecting. We've seen the Junker Queen comp from the side of Houston. They played Cerebassa in their last set as well, and they ended up on top of this comp. So no surprises here. Unisco sticking with the Doomfist pick. It seems to be their preferred choice during this set. It didn't do badly. Again, pushing it almost to the end on King's Row, holding off Houston for a decent amount of time, but not managing to clinch it out. So hopefully this map will be different for him, as I'd like to see this go more than just map 3.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of room to have some different maneuvers here and play in the ways that they would like because of the map types. I don't think they see the Doomfist, but Tequila taking out the Reaper straight away.
Yeah, but I don't think that was a Reaper going on a weird flank. I think that's just the power of a Kiriko headshot, just being able to swing your health bar so quickly. And that just leads into an incredibly clean fight win for the Houston Outlaws. Just no real competition there.
Houston are looking so refined and well. It just seems like all the other maps have been warm-ups to this. Especially Tequila, we have not seen enough of Kiriko just dominating. They've popped off, they've done bits, but we've not seen a specific moment where we've gone, oh, wow, Kiriko is in the mix. And now it seems like that's coming out. Are all the cogs in the wheel coming out here for Houston?
Yeah, Kiriko no longer in the mix in the side of Unisco, getting picked off very early in that fight. And if your main source of heals falls early, the rest of the team is gonna swiftly follow.
Yeah, this is my problem with Unisco's team comp. They're very good, they know what they're doing, and it works. But when it doesn't work, what do you do then? And it seems like they don't have an answer.
Yeah, they seem confident in this pick, so hopefully they find an answer soon. And this fight may just be the answer we were looking for. Managing to get first 2 picks, lose their own Kiriko in the process. However, they do flip the point and win the fight overall.
This is what we're talking about. It has worked. Now they just need to keep making it work. If they allow it to be a defense on this point, their team comp isn't going to cut it. They need to make it as a, we are coming for you now. Not a, take the point off as like, you need to play with your momentum and your speed with this team comp. And I want to see it.
How are we going to see it though? Infinite ults. Every ult Houston Outlaws would ever want on the side of them. Almost getting the Lucio before the beat comes out, but the beat does come out, buying them precious time. Junker Queen swiftly follows the second the Lucio will end, and so does the Blade on the other side of the team, but this Lucio on the side of Houston is just so mobile, avoiding the entirety of that Blade.
Yeah.
DPS, Kiri on point. Will it be enough? Reaper ult getting a bit of damage done. Unfortunate time to reload for the 2-0. However, it doesn't matter. The swing into the shot gets 2 DPS.
I mean, we heard it. He said it. The greatest Junker Queen in Asia. Hitting a double swing like that, like it's nothing, like a normal Monday night, like that is insane. Now it's just for Houston to clean up.
Cleanup is going to be the big factor here. Both teams on 99%. Houston allowing this to take a bit further than they would have liked. And actually, despite their dominance for the first half of this map, end up losing the first point. Point going to UNESCO College London.
You got to give it to them. Those scrappy fights where everyone's dying and everyone's getting taken down is where UNESCO are going to profit, because they do have the quicker tank and the TP from Reaper, which is just about quicker than Sojourn if you play it right to get through these environmental blockages that I guess could stop Sojourn. But it was very, very even, and you do have to be careful now, because a point like this is going to be stronger for Houston if you're not careful. But UNESCO seems to be doing it right and taking the fight outside of the objective, which is what we want to see.
Yeah, but the Junker Queen pushing up a bit too far for my comfort there, but doesn't get punished for it, so what do I know? Never mind, ends up falling. Lantern also falls. Both tanks down for both side teams here. So will Houston be able to capitalize? They pop the blade in attempt to. Bell buys an extra second for the Kiriko, but it's not enough. Lucio, again, barely managing to get the beat drop out and avoiding the Ajax.
It's nice. It's good play. It's exactly what you want to see. Just managed to barely survive the Ajax. It creates a bit of excitement, but not enough fumble. It's good. But Houston,
so all the resources got baited out of UNESCO. I say baited out, forced out of UNESCO. Houston still had another ult on deck to try capitalize the aftermath.
Yeah. They do have the Junk Queen ult here. Take aggro, and they do need to take aggro here. If they wait for the Reaper ult and the Genji ult to come online, it seems like the fight's going to get a lot harder. Junk Queen has to be proactive here.
Yeah, Houston, look here, taking the fight to them rather than sitting on point and waiting around. They were very good at doing this last set as well. However, Cape Town fan pops the blade and gets two. So many swings coming out due to the Kiri ult. However, the rest of his team has also been falling, so we'll see how it goes. The Genji fight on the edge here. Maidstone not making it back to the point. And UNESCO managed to take it, flipping the point once again in their favor.
They seem to have definitely caught their rhythm a little bit more in this game. They are getting a lot better with these flips and trades and managing to take the fights at the right time and not allow their ult economy to be taken advantage of, and it's showing.
Taki on the flank here, on the side, just going to be poking away. Doesn't have ult, doesn't have a real charge. However, is aware that there is a Reaper sneaking around somewhere. Reaper coming in, you see a Reaper approaching you in rare form, you know what his intent is. You know that ult is coming out right afterwards.
Oh.
And UNESCO, again, take the second point here. Now, if I remember correctly, UNESCO last week lost the first 2 points and then managed to reverse 3-0. So maybe we'll see a bit of them have a buy of their own medicine and see Houston pull the same. However, for that to happen, we need to see this Echo do some work.
Yeah. The change is interesting, and it could be this deciding factor here.
Who on the side of UNESCO is going to be checking this Echo? Who's going to be pressuring it?
Yeah. There is ults online here for UNESCO, which could be the deciding factor, and it is the last point, so they will be willing to commit.
Yeah, Houston need to take this point here to stay in this fight. However, Reaper... Oh! Kiriko coming in with just the clutch save, but will it be enough? Not quite. Kiri actually falling herself soon after.
Oh no!
Leans up to Lucio. And that was incredibly well played by Houston, identifying a weak point early, seeing the Reaper had committed Wraith, and managing to win the fight off of that.
Yeah, it was a clean take. They baited it. The Reaper and the Kiri thought they were going to go, free Echo here for the picking, but Maid of Stone comes flying in. It turns sour for UNESCO quick there. It goes from 1 down to 2, and it's, you gotta be careful here, and then Genji's cleaning up. But in this next fight, there's a lot of ults online for both teams.
I want to see what this copy does. Always a fan of copy. It's a very funny ultimate to exist in this game. But Lucio is going to make it difficult for any ult during this fight to get some value. Duo smartly holding on to the Junker Queen ult here, but doesn't feel the need to pop it, but falls early. And the point actually goes in UNISCO's favor. And now I think they might have clicked 4 ults, but Houston threw out a few of her own.
Yeah, they They do have to be very, very careful now because a Junker Queen or plus a Kiriko Rush can do a lot. On being on the 74, it's really your last big team fight attempt unless you have a crazy stall. So they have to think of something here, and the thinking of something is probably the Reaper.
Kiri getting a bit pressure there, just popping out of behind cover. Hasn't had to pop any resources yet, but Rush is committed on the side of Houston. So we'll see if they get anything done. Reaper ult is popped. 2-0 falls. That's a huge pick to be getting. That's the Junker Queen ult out of the equation. Midstone gets one. Tequila gets another. Houston keeping themselves into this fight with just this raw skill of their individual players. But will it be enough? Both supports able to contest for a while, I imagine. Kiri under pressure. 2-0 on his way back, but will he get back soon enough to pop that ult and win this fight?
Made of stone.
Nisco keep falling. And actually,
Oh no!
Houston's just is individual pop-offs from their players keep them in this game.
Nisco have to run and run fast. It seems like they're just gonna have to give up this objective. If they try and go for it, they're probably just gonna be feeding all charge.
Yeah, you see them just going to the next one. It's not worth it. However, Wanta might try stop him halfway. Gets a bit of chip, but not going to be jumping in quite yet. It's not the time.
Need to be careful here.
All right, let's see what this Echo can do.
Oh, and ults have just came online for Unisco.
Takes into the sky, running away from the Kiri ult that's popped inside of Unisco. But the Kiri ult is committed so far back, but no real value being able to get from it. It doesn't seem to matter. Unisco didn't need the ult. They just ran in front of it and just cleaned up the fight.
The beat was incredible. The Junker Queen ult came out, the Blade came out, you've got Echo with the beam. The ult saves everyone.
Good job, Geode. Big pop off. Alright, Reaper. Not Reaper. Genji dashes in there. Doesn't get the value that they wanted though. Knife, big knife connect. Pulls them off the high ground. And alright, let's see what this Doomfist can do. Gonna get a powered up punch here, but
Creating a lot of space.
Enough of it. However, look, yeah, Saki was just sitting there as Doomfist and just took the entire attention away from the rest of Houston's team.
Yeah, it's good, but now it's be careful time. It's okay, chill out. The Blade, the Reaper, the Kiri Rush, it's almost online for Unisco. They need to be careful not to feed that Kiri Rush here because that means it is over quickly. And they're taking the aggressive approach. Houston, not scared at all and going straight in and going, we've got ult of our own, we're going to build ours. We want to fight you now. Made of Stone, doing Made of Stone things, taking out half the team.
Houston has been so good at identifying when they should be rushing in early. Yeah. Sometimes 2-0's been picked off, but as a whole, the entire team, especially in the last Flashpoint map we saw, is so good at being like, alright, we want to initiate the fight here, we want to take the fight a little bit early, and it usually goes in their favor. Genji ult is popped. Bell buys a second, but teleports away, and Kirtan dies in the process. Junker Queen ult is online. Connects to a few. Kiriko, however, just cleaning it all off. That's such a valuable ability to Junker Queen. However, not a good enough ability apparently. Unisco fall there, and we're going to a 0.5 here.
Yeah, this is truly the closest map, and they're both playing their hearts out. It's clear to see the copy and the Blade is online, and there's only a beat and a slam from the side of Unisco. Maybe they slam to slow the Blade. Maybe they beat to stop the Blade. But then what do you do about the copy? It's this first fight is so monumental here. It can't be overstated.
Okay, Unisco going to reach a point earlier, establishing themselves a little bit earlier. So it's going to be Houston trying to take the point from them. That's going to be a good way of starting it. Baiting the... I said baiting. forcing the Rift out of them. But B slows them down. Is it going to be enough? I think the raw damage Houston has been outputting has just ignored that B. Made of Stone getting the first pick there onto the Reaper.
What a knife!
Woohoo! Lucio being forced off of the wall right into the palms of 2-0. And I think this is looking good for Houston. Very lucky to be on the brink of a reverse 3-0 on this point here.
They've definitely brought it back. The Rush and the Reaper rule is available for Unisco here. They do have to be aware of that. But they do have both supports and a Junker Queen ult coming. So maybe they take a bit of an aggressive approach, or maybe they just try to wait it out. It seems for the aggressive approach. All out chaos, the beat comes out just in time.
But will they save the Lucio?
Oh,
yes! Barely squeaking play out. And actually, Houston managed to take the first pick.
Oh no!
Although this fight going on for so long and being so messy is in Houston's favor. They've had the point capped this entire time.
Yeah, they do take it to a 77%, which is pretty good for them. They've got a Blade, they've got a Junker Queen ult, but Unisco with almost 2 more ults on the way. The Doomfist ult is ready. Do they want to take it aggressive to stop Houston from building? Do they want to play slow to build more percentage? It's going to be a hard decision to make, and it is the be-all and end-all. They have to think hard. Careful, Wanton, you don't want to die here.
Yeah, Doom's under so much pressure there. Forced to use the ult defensively, which not quite what they want. Doomfist barely surviving.
Made of Stone! Taking out the entire team.
Lucio barely squeaking out, but not really.
That might just be it. The Blade and the beat are ready for Unisco. The Blade's gone. The swap to Tracer. They need to touch. Oh no! The Tracer gets hit.
No. Tequila again with such an important headshot. Doomfist on 1 HP.
Oh no.
Lucio with just a last-minute attempt of contesting, but
this is a victory lap.
UCL and the Houston Outlaws clean up that map, get the reverse 3-0 on Sarabasa, and win the entire series 3-0.
Incredible. Everybody, congratulate your grand finalists, Houston Outlaws.
They have booked their ticket. They have secured their seat at next week's in-person grand finals event.
I mean, just absolutely insane plays from Made of Stone. Just dominant throughout the entire game. I can't think of one single play or one single map where I didn't go, wow, that Blade was incredible.
Made of Stone showing such a good proficiency on this Genji. Such an incredible performance. It's such an important role on this team. Again, being able to pressure just parts of the map that 2-0 and the rest of the team couldn't. So Made of Stone putting up a star performance there. But not to say the rest of the team didn't either. Saki very consistent on that Soldier and just putting an incredible amount of pressure and just getting so many rail shots and early picks. Tequila, we saw a very consistently good break, but especially that Kirik on the last map there. Got so many important picks and headshots.
You've got to remember that last map was important. It's their victory map, and Tequila taking the first monumental kill, which starts the first fight, and getting the first kill in the last fight where Unisco were trying to make a last-minute touch. They stopped them both times. Tequila just so instrumental to the victory of Houston Outlaws in that last map. It's insane.
And the last member we haven't mentioned, Hovey, just on the Lucio for I think most of this series, putting an incredible good job. We so many clutch beats, so many fights that were swung just due to the survivability of the Lucios, and it was a team effort for the Houston Outlaws to win that one, but they won it in a pretty dominant fashion, 3-0 against a team that we saw 3-0 others last week. Unisco put up a very good performance, and just to brush it off, beat them and book their ticket into Grands is no small feat.
Yeah, it was definitely a strong performance, but They both did so well. I don't think the scoreline truly represents how good that game was. A 3-2 in the last map. UNESCO were clearly starting to gather what they had to do to beat that team, but it was just a little bit too late.
I mean, they were showing signs of life and just were just playing very well beforehand as well. Again, Kings Row almost making it to the end and holding them down to like the last minute, but Houston just with that bit extra managing to win out others maps and take this entire set 3 out of them. That will send UNESCO College London down to the lower bracket where they will meet whoever claws their way out of that dangerous bracket. There's so many good teams down there. I would not want to be in the lowest side of this bracket. But
yeah,
all right. In lower, we saw Warwick Angels beat Kent and Oxford beat Portsmouth. So it's Warwick versus Oxford. The winner of that, yeah. So Oxford won their game. The winner of that will, the winner of Oxford and Warwick will fight UNESCO, and then the winner of that will book their own ticket into Grants to fight Houston Outlaws. And Houston, I think Houston deserve that winner side seat. They just had such a dominant performance.
Yeah, I mean it was such an entertaining game to watch as well. We can't forget that they provided so much just passion from the teams. It was what you want to cast.
Absolutely, especially because they just played. Again, what we kind of expected in was just they'd stick to comfort picks. It was just comfort picks that they played very well and played very well as a team. And we saw that happen. So, but every hero we saw on screen was the players were just so confident and so good on those heroes. Saki, even on multiple, showing a very dominant Sojourn performance on most of the game, pulling out the Echo there at the end, identifying that maybe the Sojourn wasn't doing as well, or that Echo would do better. And after that Echo switch, they won the next 3 points and ended up closing up Saravasa with it.
Just high quality performances all round. That's what you sum it to. They both did so well, and they both deserve to be congratulated in their own right. UNESCO aren't the losers. Houston are just the winners.
Yeah, absolutely. Houston, they came into this set not really caring about who beat UNESCO, who beat Oxford, who won even. They just wanted to play an opponent and just play their best comp and play the best Overwatch they could, and they pulled it off successfully. Alright, I think we will be getting an interview. However, that interview will be coming after the break, so see you guys in a few minutes.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody.
But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 Anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Anybody. But to you. But to you.
But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Anybody.
But to you. But to you.
All right. Welcome back to the University Esports Overwatch 2 Winter 2023 playoffs bracket. We're now here in an interview with, I guess, a grand finalist now of this entire bracket and playoffs. Made of Stone, the DPS and specifically Genji player that we saw on the side of Houston Outlaws. Hi there.
Hi everyone.
The first question I guess I have is, I think the Genji seems to have a lot of pressure put on in the team comp you play. Your team isn't really able to reach a lot of high grounds, and you're the only one on the Genji able to pressure those really. What sort of role do you think the Genji fills on your team, and how well do you think you do it? You're often the only one able to reach the high grounds, and it seems a lot of pressure is put on you to do so.
So honestly, we're a university varsity team, so it's just Genji is my comfort pick, and the one I did the best on. So we try Mei Sojourn, which is a more popular DPS duo, but it's doing fine, but not as good as Genji play. So yeah, before match, Dozy showed us like Sean did a lot of what'd you say, like flanking. It's their Kiriko. Kiriko did a lot of flanking and kind of waste cooldown a little bit, and Dozy just tell me just force Kiriko Suzu, force Kiriko TP, and yeah, I think my Genji is just my Genji today is just focusing their Kiriko.
Nice, you identified a win condition and successfully pulled it off.
I mean, that's just exactly how you're supposed to play the game. Find out how to win and do it. But I've got to ask you. I don't know if you realized while you was playing, but you've got a whole folder of Genji clips there. What song are you going to be using for the montage?
Oh, I really like some progressive rock or indie rock, but that's just not for game montage. That's
Not a
just too
Genji
cliche.
montage.
I would just say, yeah, especially Genji montage, one of the sweatiest hero. So yeah, do whatever you like. I'm all good.
Right. Yeah. So Tua was on the interview beforehand and said that first of all claimed that best Junker Queen Asia. Do you agree? And second of all, wasn't really scared of any of the teams coming in and seemed to be right. You came out with a strong 3-0, but is there anyone in the lower bracket that you expecting to meet in grand finals and maybe could be scared of or are expecting?
Definitely Warwick. Warwick is undoubtedly like the best overall and for all the time. And UCL. I don't think in my memory UCL has ever reached prize playoff. So we're kind of like the underdog, even though we're on a higher bracket. So yeah, I would definitely watch out for Warwick.
Did you beat Warwick earlier? Were you
We
the ones
did.
to knock them down into the lower bracket? Yeah.
We did, but they are still the alpha threat.
Oh, fair enough. Well, you've done it once. If you're expecting to have to do it again, hopefully go successfully.
Yeah, we'll try that
Are you looking forward to playing in person?
in person. Oh, do we have like offline events?
Actually, no clue. It might just be the production. But are you looking forward to playing on the big stage, being in grands? Again, you say UCL hasn't really done it before, so a lot of
like-
expectations.
A lot of like do you know like our team's background story, like little background story?
We're open to listen.
Yeah, so like so I was second year. I'm on my second year, and last year like we did terrible. We can't even find 5 players. And this year you see like Tuo, Saki, Tequila, Hui, they just joined. Some of them are undergrad, some of them postgrad. But most importantly, there are we have 5 Chinese player. We come in Chinese. So like it shows a lot of fan base, still a lot of Chinese fan base, even though you know the thing kind of happened. So yeah, shout out to Chinese Overwatch community. You guys all did great. Yep. Cheer for us, thanks.
Hey, I will be. Finn?
Well, I mean, I've got to say, so it's actually not on stage, but still a momentous time to be in. well done. You guys have represented your Overwatch community so well. You've done so dominant, and I'm so happy that you guys are a team that are going to be entering the grand finals. And we'll be hoping you put on an absolute spectacle in the grand finals, because we will be very, very excited to see it. And
We'll try
we
our
wish you
best.
well.
Thank you, Finn. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, keep up putting a good performance. Loved watching your Genji. The rest of your team also just excellently capitalizing. Seems your teamwork is just incredible. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of it.
Thank you. I'll try to do my best.
Do you have any shout outs? I guess 2-0 shouted out the
Yeah.
rest of your team earlier, but maybe you have anybody different or in particular.
Yeah, obviously, my team today is just awesome. Everybody's on par with their best performance. And especially Dozy. Dozy, even though he's a master player, and he still put out very good coaching. Sorry, Dozy. And still like Imperial, Unisco, and Carl. They're really being helpful before the match. Like even though we are opponent, they're really what do you say? They're kind and competitive player. So if it's not for Carl, we wouldn't even be in final, because Carl actually find tool.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then 2-0 put on such a good performance on the Junker Queen to repay the favor.
Yeah, 2-0 before the playoff, he doesn't even know we have a varsity team. And Carl just find him and say, "Yo, this guy is pretty good on Junker Queen. You guys might want to take him." And we kind of just start rolling from there.
Nice. Well, we'd love to see a new community, a new uni succeeding, and looking forward to seeing you play next week.
Thank you
I
everyone.
think we'll be wrapping up the interview. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for putting on such a masterclass of gaming and performance. And to everybody watching, thank you for tuning in and watching. We will be at a studio in person. The players won't be. I had to have that clarified. Sorry. And I'm looking forward to just watching grand finals after that set. I'm hoping it'll be just incredibly high level of gameplay. Thank you for everybody for watching. Been any closing
Thank
remarks?
Have a nice evening.
Have a great evening. Congratulations. Me and Wicket, we're going to be casting together from the broadcast studio, so you guys are going to get to see absolute greatness even closer with very, very high quality. Hopefully it sounds a little bit less echoey on my part, but very, very exciting times, and we hope you join us to unveil the winner.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Thanks for tuning in to University Esports. For the next few days, there'll be different games as well. I think after we close off, they'll be on the graphic. And yeah, see you guys hopefully next week.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody.
To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. Anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody. To you I'm anybody.
You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special.